Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, episode number 141 of From the Sidelines. We are back again, another Tuesday, as always, loaded up in the call with a fourth voice tonight. We won't get to him just yet. You got to give us a few moments because we got to bring in our co-host who are here every week on the show. My man, Stephen Hatch. How you doing, buddy? I like the goatee. It's filling out more and more.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try something a little new, shape it up a little bit. You know, I ain't got nothing on what our guest has tonight, but you know what? Stay tuned for that. But, dude, episode 141, dude, hey, you cheat on me, I'm going to throw a 1 for 1. You know what I'm saying? Get a minor penalty. So, feeling good tonight.
I love that. Good play on words to start us out. I would suggest maybe you do a little Val Kilmer tombstone action, a little Doc Holliday, you know, obviously as a little tribute piece, you know, rest in peace. He did just pass away in the last week. We didn't talk about him on the pod, so we are not responsible for this one, unlike Jimmy Carter. I will never forget you for that, Hatch. Brando Baird, our other co-host on the show. How you doing, my man?
Good. Yep. Would you say 141? I liked how you brought that in, Hatch. I was thinking, you know, Task Force 141.
There you go.
Yeah, pulling at the strings. But yeah, I like it. Excited to get into this guest. First time meeting him. I was busy last time we had him. Busy getting married. Yeah,
he's made
like
a brief appearance on the pod before. We'll see. You didn't miss all that much. We're gonna get more in depth with him tonight, and I'm definitely interested and excited to do that with him. But guys, before we do that, what do we got to do? We do it every week on the show.
Ad read.
Who's up first, Hatch?
Oh, dude, Welts, of course.
No, it's
Liquid IV. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Game order for 120.
I thought that was like a you pick.
You messed it up. I love that. But liquidiv.com. If you guys want to grab some for yourself, head over to liquidiv.com. Promo code Mafia_Moffitt. It's going to get you 20% off and free shipping on your order. Great part about this product, there's a whole bunch of different options for you. So if you're looking for something to help you with sleep, they've got the sleep multiplier, immune booster. You know, you're going to an event, you're going to have a lot of people around you who are probably sick themselves and not getting much sleep. You're definitely going to want to take an immune booster. I can't speak right now. Immune booster. You understand what I'm saying. They also have the sugar version of their hydration multiplier, the sugar-free version, if you're watching your macros or something like that. They've got a whole bunch of great, not only electrolytes, but vitamins and minerals included in each pouch, so it's going to get you hydrated quicker and back and ready to go. It's a great product. It fits in your bag super easy. We love it. We use it here on the show. You guys should use it as well. One last time, liquidiv.com, promo code Mafia_Moffitt at checkout. And then next up, boys, we got the guys, the Energy Boys. Which one's this one, Hatch?
That's NECTR Energy, baby. Go to nectar.energy.
What's their website?
I was already on
NECTR
it.
Energy. Nectar.energy. That is their website, like he just mentioned. Head over there. Promo code MafiaProductions at checkout is a buy two, get one free with those boys. If you want to get yourself energized up, but not kind of overstimulated, this is a great option. It looks similar to a Zyn or a tobacco pouch, something of that sort. Big difference is there is no nicotine in this product. It is just caffeine and a neurotropic, and just a little bit of caffeine, so it gets you pepped up a little bit, and then that neurotropic gets your mind focused and ready on the task at hand. We love it over here. I use it all the time when I'm editing the show or when I'm doing the show because hey, it's already freaking 8 o'clock at night and I would like to sleep at some point. So it's a great product. We use it over here all the time as well, so make sure you guys grab some for yourself. Nectar.energy. Last time, promo code MafiaProductions, all one word, for a buy two get one free. And now, Hatch, why don't you do this read because you were so excited about it earlier. Who is our last sponsor tonight?
All right, guys. So we got Welts Clothing Company as our final sponsor tonight. They, the boys over in Texas, that right next over to Ryan, really killing it over with their. They got their design. Dude, when I saw that picture, shout out to Welts Wednesday. That's going to be the new undershirt that I'm going to be seeing on Brando all the time. So make sure you guys go over there, use code FTS for 10% off, and you guys are going to get threaded up with the boys over at Welts Clothing. Scott Stewart definitely got some motivating gear over there.
I love it. I've never made you do that before. I just want to make you do it tonight. See if you've been paying attention, Ash. So
give me a number. Give me a number, 1 to 10.
5.
All right, room for improvement. That's the bar.
You know, we'll get there.
That's the bar.
But yeah, no, I do want to hold up real quick because you skipped over it. That new undershirt, Brandon, stand up real quick. Give us another show of it.
Yeah, give me a
love this. When I saw this came out, obviously DMG is a purple team, so they're having a purple undershirt now. Obviously, Brando needed one. He's been wearing Welt's clothing stuff for I think the last season and a half since they've been sponsoring the show.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm excited about that. They do Welt's Wednesdays drops first Wednesday of every month. I don't remember if you said that or not, but just reminding people if you didn't. Code FTS, save yourself some money. weltsclothing.com. All right, boys, let's move into it. We got to do a podcast now. We've taken enough time with all the official things, so let's bring in our guest. We've got a fun one tonight, boys. Kind of an official, you know, a person who is high up in the realms of paintball, but also a good guy in general, a guy who I always enjoy hanging out around during the events, kind of the, you know, the natural trauma bond that goes when you're in mud and, you know, not sleeping and dealing with all the bullshit that goes on at a NXL paintball event. He's always got a, you know, smile on his face and a protein bar to hand you and, you know, help turn the tide. His name is Alex Sorenson. He is, head of media? Is that technically the title, or what's the official title?
I think official title is marketing manager for Major League Paintball.
Marketing manager for Major League Paintball.
Yeah.
Welcome on in, man. Got to give you your applause. It's a big
Thanks,
one.
boys.
Amazing.
All right.
Thanks, boys.
Obviously, you're the head honcho now, but you weren't always with Major League Paintball. In fact, one of the first events I saw you at, you fell and ate shit in mud while you were bringing us all beers. So let's back it up a little bit. We'll Tarantino it. That's a part we can get to.
Oh, dude, I love that
Beautiful
photo.
That's amazing. But yeah,
Shelley.
there's the photo. I got a video of it as well. And ever since that moment, you know, I just knew Alex was a special guy. So let's back it up before then.
Yeah.
How do you even hear about this game called paintball? Where's the beginning for you, Alex?
Ooh. I've always wanted to play paintball. It was always something I wanted to do when I was young, and we were too broke to ever go actually like have our own gear and go play. I think when I was, I don't know, I was probably 12. My dad took me, my brother, and then our neighbor's dad took their kids, and we all went and played one day. We just had a blast. And then after that, I didn't play again until I was a grown man in 2016, I think.
Okay.
I was living in Michigan at the time, and one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, man, like, I'm gonna go play some paintball. You want to come?" And I was like, "Absolutely, I want to come." And then I had my own money, so I bought my own autococker at the time from him, secondhand. Bought a mask, like a V-Force grills, something super cheap. Was just playing a bunch of rec ball up there in Michigan at a park that's no longer open anymore. It was I think it was Action Sports, Detroit Action. Some there right around Detroit. And that kind of just kicked it off. And then I moved to Alabama, got hooked up with a local team there. Same kind of deal. I moved, and then a coworker was like, "Hey, you want to go play some paintball one day?" And I was like, "Absolutely, I want to go play paintball."
Oh, yeah.
So we went and played at a place called Mount Doom, which was the longest running paintball field in the state of Alabama for a long time. They closed not too long ago. The guy who owns it, his name is Doug. And it's on Doug's property. Like, Doug owns 200 acres. He owns like a mountain basically up in BFE, Alabama.
Sounds sick.
And yeah, he was like in his 70s. He was like, "All right, I'm done. Like, I'm ready to relax and just enjoy retirement." So he's closed doors, but
he doesn't want damn youngins, you know, and everything anymore.
No, but yeah, I got linked up with a scenario team there called the Forgotten Monkeys. Played with them for a while, and then kind of got into the tournament side of stuff and dabbled in that for a bit, and here we are. Linked up with Mike McGowan at Prime. Prime was kind of my home tournament ball field for a long time.
Drink Prime. Wait. Hold on. Oh, sorry.
Different Prime. Different
it's
Prime.
Freudian. They put it in my head. I have to say it now. I'm contractually obligated.
That's fine. That's fine. Got linked up with them. Hooked up with a 10-man team called Tribe Savages. Still part of that team. Play some 10-man ICPLs with them whenever I can. And
sick.
That's just kind of where we are.
Okay. All right. So that's the background of how the hell you even know what paintball is, which is great because most people don't. They think we play ping pong or insert random conversation you've had in an elevator with a rando at an event here. But here's the interesting thing. Now you're not playing when you're going to an event. You're just like, I've talked about, you're going to try and cover it, to try and, share the story, to try and promote the NXL, to try and make sure people see our game. Except you are the man officially doing it for the NXL themselves, which implies a lot more pressure than me, myself, or any of my colleagues have to go under at times. What got you into that position now? Like, what was kind of the background of, media training, things you've done to kind of get to that side of it?
Yeah, so I've always been a photographer. I've loved shooting photos for a very long time. I kind of started diving into it a little bit heavier, probably around that 2016 timeframe. Started doing a lot of nature stuff, and then, it always progresses from there.
Question: did you get a job during 2016?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you started playing paintball, you started taking photos again.
Yeah,
I graduated an increase in income.
Yeah, I graduated tech school in like late 2015. Started my first like real big boy job in 2016, and just kind of went ham with a lot of stuff. Started spending lots of money.
That's what you can do, brother.
Yeah, exactly. So, but started doing photography stuff, and then I started shooting paintball. Kind of as the buddy was like, "Hey, man, you want to come take some photos?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course, let's do this."
The natural next step.
Yeah, fast forward a little bit, and the first Hormesis one duel was at Prime. Yep, that was hosted at Prime, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna just go shoot this and have fun. Hung out with those dudes for a long time, and chilled with Ollie and all those guys, which was crazy. Met Phil, Swindell.
They're very hostile people. Like, they really don't like to make new friends or be friendly to pretty much anyone who walks up to them.
Yeah,
Such a great group of people. I'm being sarcastic if you're not watching this video, because Ollie, Alex, anyone who works underneath the Hormesis group, very welcoming.
Yeah, and then at that event, one of my other friends happened to come, and his name's Brad, and Brad at the time was working with Kevin Fillers, the CFO of Major League Paintball, to try and spin up the whole MLPB brand. At the time, they had the beginning of, that would have been 23, they had really launched the MLPB brand and were trying to build the social media and the YouTube and get everything really rocking and rolling. And Brad and one of my other buddies now, Jake Jones, were kind of the two people behind that project. And Brad was like, "Hey, man, we need another shooter."
J. Bells Jones.
Yep. He was like, "We need another shooter. Would you be interested in doing that?" And I was like, "Yeah, obviously. I'm always down to shoot more paintball." So that led to about the same time frame. A lot of craziness happened. My then girlfriend was living in Michigan, and then in September of that year, I actually moved to Michigan as well. So like 2 weeks before Chicago 23, I moved to Michigan and then drove to Chicago for that event, which is where that photo was taken and where it all started.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
We hit the Tarantino mark. Beautiful.
Yep. Shot there for Chicago. That went off great. Bonded with the team real good, and then got invited back for World Cup. Shot World Cup, which was a record-breaking World Cup. It was absolutely insane. There's almost 700 teams. Like, it was just bananas the whole time. So a lot of the stuff that was coming out on the Major League Paintball channels, it was pretty much all me and Jake at the time. It wasn't awesome. The NXL and the Major League Paintball stuff was still separated at the time. It wasn't all under one kind of branch. And inside the NXL, there was some position changes that happened kind of in that same time frame. Matt Ingalls left the company, and then Vince Cunningham stepped in and took over, and then Vince left. And then I was asked about the start of the year by Kevin to take over what Vince and Matt had been doing. And I said, sure. So here we are.
Damn. Dude, that is awesome. That is such a quick turnaround time, like, considering that you got back into the game at 2016, and then you're just kind of playing a little bit, and now the year 23 is when you kind of like start stepping into those shoes.
Yeah, it's been surreal.
That is awesome. Holy shit.
Yeah, it doesn't feel real a lot of times, to be honest with you. And to be where I was in 23 to where I am now, it's even more ridiculous. So,
well, I think
awesome. You're so inspiring.
Obviously our podcast audience, they don't know you personally. Hell, even Brandon's never met you in person before. But, as a guy who spent some time around you, I think one of the reasons you've got to that position so fast is you're just a genuine dude. There's been people in positions of power in paintball in the past that, everyone's had to deal with, who were just kind of slime balls, and they were doing things, whatever. And honestly, that's been paintball since the 80s, so we can't necessarily change that. But I do think, to your credit, one of the reasons you've been, quote unquote, promoted ahead of peers is it does go a long way when it's like, okay, this man is true to his word. He's overall just a nice guy. You want to be around him, and that's half the battle in paintball. You're gonna have to be around people all the time. And I think you have done kind of a good job of doing some things for the MLPB side and trying to promote that brand, because that's a hard thing to conceptualize, because everyone for years has known either the NXL, the PSP, the
NPPL.
the NPPL,
The local leagues, the WCs, the XTPLs.
Exactly. So now trying to conceptualize, instead of just that, instead of single A, double A, and triple A, it's now just all, major league or minor league baseball. And that's a hard thing to get out there to people. On that side, how has that been going for you as, a guy trying to, kind of A, start out, get people to even know what MLPB stands for, but then B, try to kind of grow that brand?
It's been weird. It's very much a different thing that, I mean, you said it, you're trying to change everyone's perception of a sport that they already kind of have predefined notions of exactly what it is. Yeah, pro elite for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was there for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Proud of that.
Later.
It's been super weird because you're trying to build brand recognition with something that doesn't exist. So we're trying to make everyone aware of this new idea that is just paintball in general at a high level, but also make sure that we can help everything grow across the board, right? Because at the end of the day, Major League Paintball is more than just necessarily NXL, WNXL, ICPL, and NXL Europe. I mean, it's trying to make sure that the scenario scene grows and that those local tournament series grow, right? It's not just our tournaments. If WC does well, the NXL is also going to do well. If XDPL does well, the NXL is probably going to do well, which means Major League Paintball does well. So we're trying to grow everything kind of all together and make sure that we can get. Yeah, go ahead.
Step in on that thought real quick. There's also kind of an argument you can make that those leagues need to develop more than the NXL because they're almost a funnel league. Not everyone who plays at a WC is going to go then move on and play at an NXL. But the more people at a WC means there's more people who are going to be like, guys, we fucking did great this event. Let's go play an NXL this, next one, or there's one coming up locally or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a cascades, right? So I say it a lot, and I've said it a lot lately, but a rising tide raises all ships. So if,
wise man
if
once
all,
told me that.
Yep. If
What's
all
his name,
the
Ash?
other leagues, what's his name?
Say his
Ash?
name,
Who told you that?
Say his name.
Ryan.
Thanks, buddy. You can't even say my fucking name. Fuck you.
Different
dude.
Ryan.
Okay.
You wouldn't know me.
No, I've used that quote on this pod for years, so that's hilarious. You pull it out.
Yeah, it's great.
Sure, so good.
But
I use that one a lot.
it's true though, right? Because if the local series do well, then just like you said, the dudes are going to be like, "Hey, man, I want to go try this at a high level."
Yep.
And then they're just going to level up, and then they end up at an NXL event, and they're like, "Oh wow, we got it." So we're trying to help everything grow.
To take that back to one of the things you were talking about with, going to the World Cup being one of the biggest ones, the record-breaking ones, we were all there for that, and it was clear. There was this palpable energy throughout the whole event. There was, yes, it was obviously just bigger size-wise, but there was just this kind of aura to it, and I hate using that term, but
I love that term. Anime,
but
baby.
you guys understand being there. It's one of those things that's almost hard to put into words. I mean, when you have the Oasis going on and you have movie screenings happening, and then you have a full 4 days of play, and then all the divisionals are going on, the Mounts tournament, all the different, the semi-pro division, which is always highly contested at Cup. So that's always a great storyline going into like the last 2 days there. Yeah. There's just so much palpable energy within that like 5-acre lot that we get to take up, and that's definitely grown, because I was at Cup in 2017. It was not way like different. That, my man. It was a lot more chill. You could walk around that same plot of Kissimmee a lot easier than you can nowadays.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and it's only growing. Like there's no sign of it kind of really slowing down. I mean, there's a lot of scared people talking about paintball kind of slowing down and lots of things going downward, but we're as a whole, I don't see us trending down. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw the shots from WC the other weekend, but that place was packed.
Mike's grown that league crazy. Like, it is. There's a lot of West Coast teams that now only play WC, because they see that as like a worth of both value and time for the amount they have to travel versus the competition they're going to get.
High level competition.
You can't play semi-pro there, but it's they've got a lot of great Premier Division teams, which are kind of getting pretty close in some of those matchups.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crazy talent coming out of WC. I mean, like you said, it's still not semi-pro and it's not pro, but it's very talented people out there. But what that means is one day those dudes that are probably crushing in D2 are going to be like, you know what, I'm tired of being D2. I'm tired of being what do we call it? What we classify D2 as there for a second? Was that Premier Elite? Or was that Premier?
I think it was Premier. I'm pretty sure it was Premier.
Yeah.
Because then it was Amateur A and Amateur B, and then
it was Premier. Yeah, because I think Premier is a pretty standard D2 division across kind of the board. So, but like you get tired of being Premier, and you're like, all right, I want to.
Or using that as a chance to play more paintball. Friend of the show, a guy who's said this on multiple interviews, Cyrus Garager. He went out to Premier in WC, even though he was playing in Florida, and just played more paintball, got more reps, got saw by Colt. Now he's freaking one-time MVP. Probably could have been, I don't know. Depends on how you look at that last event. I think he did fucking great. He did his job. He shot 12 paints at a lane, or 12 pods at a lane. Sometimes you just got to do that. Hey, 12 balls. You only get 12 balls for this lane, and then you got to move the fuck on. That'd be miserable.
The fact that they won and he only used 12 balls is fucking crazy to me, bro. That is insane.
Why? Machine Gun Mike is like, back in my day, that's what we had, motherfucker.
That's all. That's it. That's all they had.
Stick
tubes. Yep.
Tubes.
Yeah.
Yep.
God, stick tubes and CO2 cartridges, dog.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I just say, to your credit, World Cup is definitely growing in size. Some of the other events have definitely, it's been hard to just field teams, time of year, location, yada yada yada. The details go on. But when you look year over year at the growth at World Cup, it is clear there's a clear pattern of upward growth there.
Go ahead, Hatch.
No, you go ahead.
So, like, year over year, if we look at event numbers, kind of if we take similar locations and events like over time, each event has grown, right? So, like, Florida this year was larger than Florida 23. It's hard to compete when you look at a Vegas. So we're back on the West Coast for the first time in a while. It's the first event of the year, perfect time of the year. So that's always going to be giant. I mean, each event has kind of gotten bigger and bigger as we go, numbers wise, just straight year over year. So like World Cup is definitely bigger, but every event is still kind of growing some too. So it's like, you look at different times of year, different locations, different stuff. We're still growing.
Absolutely. I can attest to the growing of World Cup, because literally, dude, I've gone to World Cup for the past 10 years. That just shows my age. I'm so but dude, I was there when it was at Fantasy of Flight. And
dang.
Right? And so now that it's at wherever the fuck it is now, Kissimmee, whenever I tell people the energy at Cup gets so much, dude, you can feel it in your feet. Dude, it's like an earthquake of stampede of just people. It's just so, and there's just so many people that of different cultures from different countries, and it is just so cool because all the European teams come out and they want to try to win semi-pro. I mean, we played a European team and like a South American team or something. Like, it is insane. right? So without a doubt, World Cup is getting significantly bigger.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Real quick, I do like that you put in that credit of each event in like the similar locations are growing as well too. It's just easier to tell with World Cup just because it is this mass amount of just people and things.
Oh,
and
it's so easy to tell.
It feels like we're at like a festival or something like that. Whereas
And
like
you are.
normally, yeah, no, you are. That's true. But where let's be real. Some of the like that Chicago festival that Sunday when it rained, that didn't feel like a big fun event. But that also is weather and that happens, and Tom can't control that. I wish he could make it a lot easier.
Yeah. NXL weather control. One day,
that'd be epic. That'd be so nice.
With your guys' help, we can do that one day with your guys' donation somewhere. I don't know where they would go.
I don't know where it's going.
Not to me. Yes, and then we're gonna donate it to the league, obviously.
Totally.
Yeah.
For the funnel.
So. I've got a couple more things for you, but before we get to that, I want to let the boys jump in there. So, Brandon, I know you had a couple questions tonight.
Yeah, have you before this job with MLPB? Did you run any social media prior to this?
Not at a high level.
That's a great question.
Oh, okay.
No.
Now, did you take any inspiration, or how did you?
What are your qualifications?
Turn it into what it is now. Yeah, without any prior experience.
It's been a lot of watch what other people are doing, watch what other large leagues are doing, try to pull from some of the stuff that they're doing, but also like at the end of the day, I'm a consumer just like all of y'all, right? So I have to keep within a certain guideline and keep brand image up and make sure we're not posting some crazy stuff. But
can't be Wendy's.
But it's like I want to post stuff that I want to see. Like I want to put out content that's cool, and I want to put out stuff that I think my friends would like watching, and that means that y'all want to watch. And if I like watching it, then that means other people are going to want to watch, and that means they're going to share it with their friends, and so on and so forth. So for me, it's kind of and I take it a lot from like people like Gary Vee too, where it's don't overcomplicate this, because it's not complicated at all, right? Like share stuff you want to share it often, and just kind of make it what you want it to be. And I feel like it's worked out well, kind of taking that route.
Yeah, even with you saying that before you mentioned Gary Vee, it seemed it's a simple answer. Yeah, put out what you like, and it'll again like funnel into other people that are gonna enjoy it. Cool. Okay. See.
Yeah, I
think I like that. And okay, if you got a thought there, go for it, Alex. But
I think a big thing too is people know when it's genuine and when it's not. Right. So like if I was putting a lot of forced content out there that was kind of hokey and weird, people would know immediately. Right. Like it's not as bad as if I'm a person in front of a camera, like a Jake Paul or one of these other giant people. Like you can tell real quick if they're doing some hokey stuff, but you can still tell if like there's forced content there. So, I mean, as long as it's genuine and like you know when the person behind it enjoys what they're doing and is actually like got love behind what they're putting out.
Definitely.
And I like this conversation because this actually relates to another question I know Hatch wanted to ask you tonight. As just with social media, obviously there's a lot of people who want to collaborate, but they're tagging the MLPB, they're tagging NXLPB, maybe in stories, maybe in stuff like that. Obviously that's great for you guys because it's content that you guys can then use to promote the brand. More people are talking about it. That's in the checklist of things we want to be doing. Hatch, what was your question about this? I'll let you ask it.
Yeah. So basically, I wanted to ask, what is something that you look for, right? When you're scanning the MLPB Instagram, and you're like, oh, this team just shared us in their story. What is something that you look for? It's like, okay, that's something that's worth sharing. That's going to get eyes on the MLPB. What can people do for their own personal posts that can get you to acknowledge it and repost it?
So, I mean, it just kind of needs to be clean content, right? Like, I mean, if you're saying a bunch of crazy stuff, I'm probably not going to share it, to be honest with you. and also like be aware of which account you're tagging, right? Because if you tag the NXL account on content from like WC, no offense to WC, but I'm not sharing it to the NXL's account, right? If you want it to be shared on one of our accounts, probably tag Major League, and then because it's an overarching paintball page there.
Okay, gotcha.
So like kind of pay attention to what account you're tagging for what, and then also just make it cool content. Like it's really not hard, right? Like as long as it's clean and you're tagging the right account, I'm probably going to share it. If anything, I'll share it to the stories. If it's super cool, typically if it's from a media person, I'll probably collab on it as long as it's quality content.
I was going to bring this up because one of my favorite moments at events is when you're just sitting in the tent and like a random photo guy's like,
I'm just sitting there like this.
Alex, man, you got to check this out, bro. And then they're like, I tagged the account. Yeah, you can. And then you're like, yeah, I'll take that one. And it's like you sit behind your computers. You're like,
That's awesome.
I'll pass on that one. Not good enough today. And so, I'll come for Alex's approval.
It's hard because there's so much super quality content coming out.
We have some very good content creators in paintball.
Yeah, like it's insane, right? I mean, the list is long, very long for dudes that are cranking top tier content, and
100%.
It's as long as like there's a professional level to it and it feels professional. I mean, we've all seen the content where you're like, this sucks. That's
for sure.
I mean, when there's so many people that are putting out really top quality content, it's very easy for me to go, yeah, that's not it, right? I mean,
it almost stands out more because there's like such good examples right next to it on both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's immediate, right? Like it's little stuff. It's not little stuff makes a big difference, right? Like not super shaky stuff.
Well, and I'll say it like this because we do have a more paintballer audience than a more media side audience. Mm-hmm. It would be like if you're trying to go play semi-pro and you don't have your snapshot down.
Correct.
You need to have your snapshot down, and in media side that means you need to know how to get fucking exposure right. You need to know how to get focus right. You need to know how to set a white balance. Like those are basic things you need to have cranked off before you try to start getting artsy and doing all this other stuff on top of it because the foundations aren't there.
It's funny that you talk about the shakiness because, dude, I remember you the MLPB shared a couple of the off-field interviews that I did on the Sacramento DMG Instagram, right? Mm-hmm. And it's funny that you say shaky footage because I remember I was like, I'm hounding my guys like, hey, win or lose, we're doing interviews. And I remember holding the camera, and right after our match, right, we just got done playing. Dude, I am shaking.
Adrenaline's
dumping. And I'm like, all right, tell me how we just did that game. And they're like, it is just so funny because I'm like trying my best not to shake. So, okay, no shakiness. All right, I need a stabilizer.
Like there's a certain level of shakiness that's cool, right? But if you're just sitting there and it's bad, like
See, but that's the other thing with media too is like you just said it right there. Shaky, not good. Some shaky can be good. It's like every rule can be broken a little bit creatively, but you have to know the rule first before you can start to break it.
You know what? Go ahead.
If you consume enough content, like if you consume a quarter of the content that I consume, you immediately go, all right, this is good, this is bad, right? Like it becomes very evident.
For sure.
A great example in media, the Bourne Identity camera shake, too much. Dark Knight, Arkham, which one? The Batman Joker movie, good amount.
Okay.
Like they had a couple scenes in there where it's like, okay, you can tell it's handheld and meant to be shaky, but yeah.
Blair Witch is a bit too much for me, but like in the context of Blair Witch movie, like it makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
It's a creative decision, okay?
Yeah,
that's a choice for our content, went with, Hatch.
Yeah, it's like right under the face, like I am so scared right now.
Yeah, like Cloverfield, like it's super bad.
Put a GoPro right under your mask so you can just look down midpoint, just like I'm shitting myself, bro. This is terrifying.
Yeah, and I'm just like trying, like, dude, just keep the camera straight for 2 seconds, bro. I need to see the monster, bro. The Cloverfield style. It's like the clear picture of the monster, but they're like, oh shit, monster, like moving it everywhere.
Yeah.
So
the second you see the monster, the movie's no longer scary. Welcome to Cloverfield.
Yep.
Or welcome to that genre of movie in general. It's
exactly.
more scary when you don't know what it is.
Valid.
Nope.
100%.
All right. Well, I loved that. Some good stuff about social media, especially when, kind of collabing with the brands.
I got one more quick question real quick.
Okay. If it's on that, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the wildest comment that you've ever seen on the MLPB Instagram? Like, what is like one that you're like stuck in your head that you're like, when you think of it, it stands out to you?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Really?
Dude, you gotta understand this, right? So just look at the league name change, right?
Okay.
There was 1,000 comments on that post.
Yeah.
You know how many of those I read? I read over half of them.
Okay.
Right? Like, that's my job, to read these comments. Like, the Las Vegas layout post had like 300 comments. I read all of them.
That's
so like
amazing.
the number of comments I read it's ridiculous.
So
like,
he sees you.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I see the comments.
Okay.
Like,
All
if
right.
So-
somebody's constantly like in there commenting, like, I'm like, all right.
I was just
here we
gonna
go.
ask, like, well, maybe you don't want to say who, but yeah, you certainly know.
Name them.
Yeah.
Press.
I want the
Email
Instagram
line
handle so I
number.
can check.
No. Nope. No, I mean, there's been a lot of crazy comments. Like, none of them have been. I have such a short memory with that too, to be honest with you, because
That's good.
Probably for the
like
best.
because I have no desire to let those dwell in my brain,
Hell
right? Because
yeah.
there's some pretty awful stuff that has come through those.
You don't
I'm
have
just
like,
all right.
40 rows of just Tom Cole hate threads compiled
Nope.
in your head? No? Okay.
Nope.
Well,
I
that's
read
good.
them, I process it, and it goes right out my head.
What about the
That's-
funniest? Do you know the funniest one?
Ooh.
How many times do you get frozen paintballs?
You got to give Hatch
Not a
content
lot.
here.
Not a lot. There's not a lot of frozen paintball comments on
Thank
the
God.
posts, right?
I actually
Because
just
most of
spelled
the
that on
people.
another podcast a couple weeks ago. I made sure they asked me about that particularly, and I said, no one's ever done that before.
No, it doesn't work. Like, it's just whatever. But funniest. What's the funniest? I don't know, dude. To be really honest, I'm blanking on comments right now because there's been a lot of really funny ones where I'm just like, oh, that's good.
You know, one of my favorite
What's your favorite comment, Hatch?
Oh shit, dude! When someone
Exactly,
thought I
it's
was
hard
funny-
when somebody asks
no,
you.
No, I got this. Recently, it was funny when someone. Well, I made an April Fool's prank where someone where I was leaving DMG, right? And someone's like, "Oh, Hatch to Impact," and I'm like, "Oh my god, this fucking guy." There's no way I'm
reasons
going
why that
Impact.
one happened.
Yeah, so it's just funny overall, and it's just like that was one in my mind recently that I can remember. Or the Joe Baird comment, that was also very, very funny. Shout out to last week, but we already talked about that. One.
Oh, yeah, we talked about it. They got Joe hook, line, and sinker on the April Fool's joke.
Like, check the date. He's like,
wasn't too
April
happy
1st.
about
Yeah,
it.
so?
I was like, yeah, but I tried to give him an out, too. I'm sorry, Joe. We love you, Joe. You're a friend of the pod. You're a great guy, Joe Barrett, but just look at the date next time, buddy.
Come on, dog.
all right,
That day,
let's-
that's a dangerous day on social media, dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, you
That's
just
a
got to know.
dangerous day.
Nothing's real. Like, when you
Correct.
wake up and you look at the time in the morning, you go, oh, April 1st. Nothing I read is
Yeah.
real.
I was lucky that we didn't have to make any like informational posts that day because I was like, please don't make me have to do anything good.
Please
Ooh,
tell
why
Tom
did-
not to do that.
Yeah, why didn't you guys do anything?
You guys should have changed it back to Pro Elite.
It's been with
that's
great
good.
You know what? We're
consideration.
doubling down on it.
We have decided, and then
Yeah.
just radio silence the rest of the day, and don't take the post down.
Yeah, don't do anything. Just let it live forever.
Oh, they are stewing in it. The internet trolls are like, these motherfuckers think they can just make me call me amateur A for no reason and just fuck
Yeah,
that.
you're gonna get doxxed. You keep talking like that, bro.
I know. I'm sorry, bro. There's too many people, powerful paintball people.
Yeah, dog. All right, well, I'm going to finally get to this topic because I've wanted to talk about it for a little bit because it's one of the things I've talked to you probably about the least. But if you're watching the video of this podcast and you look at Alex, he is not a normal-sized man. This man is a giant person. His traps are damn near to his chin, which is also damn near to his chest because his beard is so long. This man obviously enjoys working out, but I've seen some stuff on your social medias that you've been kind of involved with more of the powerlifting side. I wanted to talk to you about that a little bit because it's definitely something that's been popping up from time to time, but I've never had the chance to ask you personally about it.
What do you want to know, man?
Well, what's the background there? Is it something like you started in high school, or is it just you wanted to start lifting and you chose powerlifting? Why powerlifting in general? Like,
so I mean, I grew up playing
have
sports.
A beer gut and lift heavy shit? Like, I'm confused.
So I mean, I grew up playing sports. So I mean, I played sports from the time I was 6 until well after I graduated high school. I mean, arguably still now with paintball. So sports have always been a thing, and with sports comes lifting. Mm-hmm. So it was always kind of around. It was always kind of around. I've done some stints in CrossFit. I've done some stints in like just gym bro lifting style. And it was 2020 in Alabama. COVID was kind of a thing, not as crazy as it was everywhere else. I had just gone through a really bad breakup, and I was like, all right, we got to find something. I had been running like
750 pounds.
Kinda, honestly. My brother was doing strongman at the time and was just jacked and super strong. And I was like, all right, like we got to get this together. Like I got to start working out. And I joined a gym down the road from my house. And I happened to go in 2 Sundays in a row. And I met this guy named Marius Garth, who is...
Sounds like a Lord of the Rings character.
Sick ass name, straight up.
Yeah. So he's the human personification. If you took Ronnie Coleman and what's his name?
Okay, I'm already scared.
No, not Jesus. Oh my goodness. It was a
Ronnie
very
Coleman, that's a big one.
Yeah, it was a very funny military movie. Oh my goodness. Black guy, Damon Wayans. Comedy movie.
Tropic Thunder.
Can't remember his. No.
Way before that.
I gotta find this. I gotta find this real quick because this is gonna bug me.
Yeah,
I can't think of it right now.
Because this is important, and you'll get it.
The fact that half of it is Rodney Coleman is already impressive.
Yeah, I'm like the dude who fucking deadlifted with his back. God, if you ever watched his form deadlifting, it scares me.
You know, still seeing him kind of like walk around.
Oh, it reminds me of Crystal Soya.
You know?
Crystal Soya?
Yeah, like it just hurts watching them walk. It's, ooh.
Oh, yeah. You put a lot of pain on that body for years.
God,
yeah, you did.
Especially when he like the interview, he's like,
Major Pain. So
okay.
he's a perfect mix of Major Pain and Ronnie Coleman. So this just giant black guy that I happened to go in the gym 2 Sundays in a row, and we hit it off. And he was kind of a power lifter at the time, and he had a comp later that year, and I was like, hey man, like I'm down. Let's go do this thing. So I ended up helping him with that comp. It was a national comp in Ohio. So we hit it off, and then we went really hard for a number of years doing just absolutely psychotic workouts, just getting strong and killing ourselves
just
and having a blast doing it. Oh yeah, for sure.
Powerlifting is objectively stupid. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I get the ego pride when you finally, fucking squat 7 plates. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm a god. But then you're back in 2 years, cries for help.
Well, for me, it was like I wanted to figure out how strong I could get, because I was always kind of like a decent sized person, right? I mean, I was larger than the average human being, if you will, but I was never strong, like objectively strong. And arguably, I still don't feel objectively strong, even though if you look at numbers, I am.
That's body dysmorphia, bro.
Yeah, it is for sure.
Yeah,
but
I like that a lot.
I wanted to find out like exactly how strong I could be, and I was like, all right, we're just going to push this until I can't go anymore, and I haven't hit that point yet.
Okay, so really quick, what
1 rep max?
What were you? Well, yeah, I was gonna ask, like, what was your PR when you first started lifting heavy, and then what is it now?
So we'll say and these are kind of guesses, right? But
Okay.
I would
with
say
strongman Brandon, you won't be aware. It's in weird measurements. He's gonna tell us that like 4
so-
stones and
Oh,
like
so
no.
mine are all
kidney
powerlifting
and-
numbers.
Yeah.
So I'll give you straight real numbers. So squat, bench, dead. My squat probably when I started was somewhere in the, I don't know, low threes, maybe 315, 330, somewhere in there.
Okay.
I've squatted the same
actually-
amount, so that's how I knew Alex. Yeah, okay. That's
I'd have to find the numbers from my first ever comp.
because I'm not
I
strong
can
at all.
find
I'm
them.
going to put that out there. I'm not trying to claim I'm a strong man here on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm fucking not. So if I've squatted that amount, okay, that's
Yeah.
it's a good borderline for you guys out there.
So somewhere in there for squat, my bench was like 240, 250,
My bench
somewhere
is
in there.
definitely less than that.
And then my deadlift was like 405, 415, 420, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Currently, my best squat is. This sounds so dumb saying it after those numbers now.
Ponies.
My best squat ever is 512. My top bench is 305, and then my best deadlift on a deadlift bar was 530. But I've got 570 on a trap bar.
Damn.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
That's a lot of weight. Like, okay, again, I'm not strong, but I've lifted before in my life, and I've lifted enough to know how impressive those numbers are because I've sat there with my weight and been like, I'm fucking dying right now, man. And you're like, you're almost doubling it in some of those lifts. So, good
Well,
shit.
what's funny is none of those. So if I was to do like a powerlifting prep right now and do the whole rigmarole right now, my numbers would be way higher. I'm actually way stronger than I've ever been before, and
That's awesome.
I just don't have the desire to do a powerlifting comp or prep like that. I mean, it's hard on your body. I mean, it's brutal.
How long?
Like doing
how long
a powerlifting comp?
Sorry. Yeah. How long is the prep typically, and what does it consist of?
It kind of varies depending on person to person and kind of what you and your coach decide is best for your body. For me, it's somewhere between 8 to 12 weeks up to the comp. And I mean, I'm always kind of in a state of lifting heavy at this point because my numbers are so high, so it kind of sucks, right? So like if I'm doing squats, I'm doing 3 plates pretty regularly on average, right? Like I'm not doing anything under 300 on squats, which is kind of annoying to be honest.
Because you're just not getting hypertrophy or
hypertrophy. So like I could get
hypertrophy,
hypertrophy
right? Yeah.
for less than that, but I'd have to do like 30 reps.
lot.
Like it's kind of annoying.
Busting them out quick.
Now you're doing cardio.
Yeah.
That's gay. We don't like that. So.
Yeah, we don't like cardio. I don't like cardio. But so it's 8 to 12 weeks for me, and it's progressively loading. So prep is the first 4 weeks are trying to build your strength. So you're doing a little bit more hypertrophy. You're trying to build some muscle mass and get your muscle bellies nice and strong. And then after that, you're just trying to prep your central nervous system to keep up with the weight, right? So those first 4 weeks are where you're going to put on all your strength, and everything after that is prepping your body to do the most amount of weight possible. So first 4 weeks, you'll do higher reps, relatively speaking. And then kind of after that, you start tapering down to where ideally like 2 weeks before the comp, you hit your peak. So you're hitting your 1 rep maxes or kind of close to 1 rep maxes, kind of figuring out where you're going to be at the comp. So you're hitting singles of all your lifts and you're just hating life because it's just awful. And then you take a week off and then you go hit your numbers. So it's kind of a long, like committed process. And for me, like if I'm in prep, there's no excuses. I am in the gym 4 days a week without question, getting my workouts. There's
Taking your
no
TRT.
distractions. I don't do anything. I'm 100% natural. I'm 100% natural.
All right.
No,
Hell
that's
yeah.
fine.
He's all natty. Fuck yeah. Well, it's fair because you don't have huge ass nipples. You don't have like the back knee. You don't have like. There's a lot of clear,
Yeah, the
obvious
fucking
markings.
craters on your skin.
We don't have
Definitely
the money to
don't do
buy
any
all
of
the
that.
good shit, which doesn't have those side effects. That's like Liver King type shit. Then you're spending $30K a month on roids.
He still had back craters.
Real quick, Hatch, because I wanted to get this in before Brando's, but it does relate. What are numbers you're putting up at a comp? Or like, what is like, let's say someone in your weight class, like what is kind of an average competition type number? Like, you know, for the class, obviously maybe not the standout, but.
So it kind of depends. Right now, I would probably compete 275. That's where I've always competed, and I'm at the bottom of the barrel at 275. So to be like mid-range competitive in the 275 weight class, you got to be mid sixes squats. You got to be 350 to 400 on your bench press, and then you got to be 6 to 7 on your deadlifts, and then you're talking like competitive numbers.
So well over the 1,000 club. All right, love that.
Oh yeah, you got to be
definitely.
If you want to be competitive,
ridiculous.
you got to get, I don't know, somewhere between 16 to 1,800 total, probably
So
to be
in
like
3 lifts, you need to move 16 to 1,800 pounds of mass. That's fucking ridiculous, people. Someone else laugh, because goddamn.
Dude, if you had to survive in a village, bro, you could pick up the whole village and move it. Dude, bro.
The whole village, Hatch?
You know what I'm saying? Back then,
I mean, that's true. It's a lot of mud and straw.
You know what I'm saying, bro? That's a lot of weight, bro.
That's true. Viking times, you
Picking
would
up
be
the
an
whole
asset.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not watching the fucking video, look at this goddamn man. He would be a Viking.
He's carrying the boats.
Be real, okay?
He's carrying the boats.
He's carrying the boat. Well, he's killing people too. But we won't talk about the other things Vikings did because we all know about it.
Oh, they work for die, don't they?
What was that, Brandon? You broke up for me, but that's fine. Our audience probably heard it. God damn it. Okay. All right. Well.
Real quick. Okay, so one thing I wanted to say. I like the way that you were talking about when you were getting into lifting about how, you want to see how strong you could get. It reminds me of a quote where it's like, okay, if you could never fail, how far would you go? Yeah. You know, that's what that really reminded me of. And so as
question about that, because it does relate, like, what isn't that like an old proverb of something like it's a pity, or it's a waste of a man's life to not know how strong he can get, or something like that? Like, I feel like I've 100% heard that before. Someone out there, look it up and comment and let me know if I'm right or wrong, because it sounds very familiar.
I just know where it's like, I've heard the quote where it's like, if you know you couldn't fail, how far would you push it? Mm-hmm. Right, and that's one of those things where, as a guy who got into powerlifting, what is someone who is just first starting getting into working out? What is a way to get them into the gym and get them active?
I hate to be that guy, but there's no way I can make you go.
Absolutely.
Right? At the end of the day, you have to look in the mirror and go, this is what I want. Right? It's kind of just like paintball, right? Like, if you don't want to go play paintball, you're not going to go play paintball. Like, I can drag you to the gym. I can give you some easy workouts. I can make you feel good. I can make your muscles look big, get a nice pump in you and then make you feel all this stuff. But at the end of the day, if it's not something that you like are invested in for whatever reason, then it's just not something that you're going to buy into, and it's not something that you're going to want to do. You have to find, there's a certain point where motivation will get you in the gym, but discipline keeps you there. So you can get motivated. You can go watch all the Ronnie Coleman videos you want. You can go watch C-Bum crush it on stage. You can go.
All right, fuck you. Great Plitz gets you fucked up. All right.
Like, dude, I can send you a bunch of videos that just make you so so just enraged that you're like, I got to go work out. Right. Those only work so far. Right. Those only go so far. So, like, I can get you in the gym, but you have to stay there. Like, you have to decide that this is what you want. It's a lifestyle change. It's you just got to commit. Like, I don't know. You either got it or you don't.
So I'm pretty sure, I don't know who said it originally, but I'm pretty sure I saw it in a Sam Sulek video where he's like, the guy who enjoys walking is always going to go farther than the guy who just has a journey and a destination.
Yep.
The guy who enjoys walking will always go farther than the guy.
You have to enjoy the process. And
100%.
if you don't enjoy the process, like if you don't enjoy snap shooting, then you're not going to go snap shoot, right? If you don't enjoy playing paintball, you're not going to go play. If you don't enjoy practicing, getting better, doing all these things, then you're just not going to do it.
Well, I was gonna say, like, in relation, the most consistent I ever was in the gym was right out of high school. I had a buddy of mine, and for about 4 months, it was like 5 times a week. It was because he didn't have a car, so if he wanted to go to the gym, I had to go take him. And then I also had the shame of like, well, he's texting me to go to the gym. I'm not gonna tell him I'm not gonna go to the gym. All right, sweetie,
have fun at the gym.
So we became each other's accountability buddies, and we got each other's asses in the gym. He eventually stopped going, and I went for a little bit longer after that. I had some discipline. But then eventually that fell off. And
so on that note, like a gym partner, those are real things. And if you can find a dude that's down for the cause and is like, all right, y'all just set a goal, like we're gonna do this for X amount of time, and y'all go together every day. I mean, there's ways to set up yourself for success, right? Like I wouldn't suggest going 6 days a week. I wouldn't suggest going 5 days a week. I'd suggest maybe 3 days a week if you're just getting started. So that way, like, you can kind of acclimate and get used to it. But
that's all you need.
Yeah, I mean, just something simple, but like have a gym partner, have a buddy that is going to push you and isn't going to let you bitch out and be a little crybaby about it and be like, all right, man, like we're in this, like we got to get this done. We got to push hard. We got to get after it, and y'all going to hold each other accountable. Because I mean, that's the best way to succeed in that environment is to have somebody there, not only spotting you when stuff gets heavy, but like pushing you and being like, "Hey, man, like it's okay. Like we're gonna make it, and we're gonna show up tomorrow, and we're gonna do it again, and then we're gonna show up the day after that. And we're just gonna keep showing up until we get what we want."
Yeah, like so. Me and my friend Mitch, whenever we work out, we always make this. We're anime heads, right? So we make this comparison where it's like for Dragon Ball, where it's like Goku and Vegeta.
56 minutes today for Hatchet anime. So mark that down.
Right?
It's not. Nope. He said it way earlier.
I did say it way earlier.
Shit, I missed the cue.
Thank you, Alex, for being on me about that. Right? But it's like
got you.
There's Goku and Vegeta, right? Goku is obviously the better one, and Vegeta is the number 2. We would always be like, all right, who's going to be Goku and who's going to be Vegeta today?
Yeah.
Right? Who's going to be the guy that's pushing through and who's going to be the guy that's like right second place?
Yep.
Obviously he's a way bigger guy than I am to where he would be stacking up numbers against me. But you know what I'm saying? Like for my goals, right?
So that's a big thing too, right? That if you have to understand that you're not competing against your boys. You're not competing against anybody else in that room.
Yep.
Your competition is you. And me and Marius always had a competition to see who is the hardest worker in the room. And you bet your ass I'm not letting that dude outwork me. Right? Like we can be even when we leave, but you're not gonna get that title today. And I'm not gonna let you win. And I don't care if you're deadlifting 700 and I'm deadlifting 300. Like I'm gonna push just as hard as you, if not harder, and we're gonna keep pushing until one of us quits or we're done with the workout. And it's not a normal mentality. And I understand I got some screws loose to like have a mentality like that all the time in the gym. But for me, that's the only way it's worked out, right? Because I'm going to work harder than you. And good luck.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, good luck, dog. Good luck trying to take that from me because I'm going to fight tooth and nail.
I did That's also awesome. Want to bring up, like, on the just topic of just getting into the gym, one of the best pieces of advice is just start. And just like go. That doesn't need to be going to the gym. If you haven't gone for a walk in the last couple months, put your shoes on and just go for a lot, around the apartment. Something as small as that can help to build up that kind of like, okay, well, I took a walk. All right, let's go for a run today. Or shit, I've got that gym membership. Let's go use that again. Because I know for me, the times in my life when I've been the most on it about fitness, it's a momentum roll. It's not necessarily like something happens and then I'm in a boot camp and I'm fighting for my life for 8 weeks. No, it's kind of like something triggers something and then I'll think about something or maybe a girl breaks up with you or something like that and then you're like, all right, we gotta get back into it. And it's little things that get you back into it, because I feel like when you just do the super quick shit, then you kind of fall out of it because it doesn't you just get so sore and just destroyed, and then your body's like, fuck, bro, we can't go on. Just let us rest.
No, like you gotta build habit, and Like you got to make a routine of it and kind of go about it and make it part of your life.
Absolutely. It's what is it? They say it takes 60 days to develop a habit. So if you do something for 60 days, hell yeah, that's a good boy right there. Or a girl.
So
whatever,
using that logic, Hatch, I can smoke crack for 59 days, but I will be okay if I don't do it on the 60th.
Hey man, all I'm saying
Yep.
all I'm saying is people who are making an excuse for not paying their bills, bro. Crackheads somehow find a fucking way to get high. So if a crackhead can do it, you can do it. They find a way. Figure it out. Be a man.
Very good point, my man.
For sure.
All right. I love it. I was not expecting this to get that much on the powerlifting, but I knew it was an interest of yours, and I knew there was some good words of wisdom back there.
I'm a string bean,
I'm
so I
glad
need
you got
these
some
words
of
of
them
wisdom.
out. Hatch, I feel like you need to text him, get some more information.
No, I'm learning firsthand. That's why I'm asking these, dude.
If you want to work out and you want to, the fastest way to get stronger, and it doesn't require a gym membership, right? So if your thing is watching TV, if your thing's watching TV, this will work for you. If your thing is playing a lot of COD, this will work for you. If you are streaming anime just over and over and over again,
okay.
Every time an episode ends, you bust out 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, and 10 air squats, right? Whether you're waiting in a lobby for a new game, you're in a commercial break, you're doing any of that, after an anime episode ends, every other anime episode, whatever, you bust out those 3 things, and you do that for, say, an hour a night, right? Or until you just physically can't do it anymore. You do it 3 nights a week, and you would be amazed at how much progress you will see if you just do that consistently. And it doesn't require any extra money. And you're doing it in the time that you would be scrolling reels anyways. So 100%. Set your phone down.
There's this really cool thing that our muscles have, and we talk about it all the time, but we forget that it's a thing. It's called muscle memory. And it is a legitimate thing. There was a point in time in my youth where I didn't really work out. And then towards the end of high school, it was very, we went hard. And that was probably, the heaviest I ever looked in my body. But at the same time, the leanest I ever looked in my body. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, we're figuring it out. And eventually, I fell off the wagon and stopped. But now, whenever I do kind of get back into it, you see that start to come back a lot kind of quicker than if that base was never laid. Because your body does know how to build that muscle and use amino acids and be like, okay, he's doing the thing again. We got to start building muscle protein for him. And it is crazy what, your body's capable of.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what I was saying. Even simple things like getting back into it like that, you'll start to get some of that kind of going back in your body. And then, then you can start going to the gym easier and going for a run easier, walking your dog easier, simple shit like that.
Your body's like, oh man, the pump again. Like, I haven't had this in a while, sometimes you'll get some extra endorphins going where you're like, damn, dude, hell yeah.
Yeah, and you look at yourself in the mirror and start making out, and then the hair's flowing, and someone walks into the locker room, and then you're kicked out of the gym because that's not allowed.
Damn, dude, this guy just got his mullet. This is happening. That's crazy,
oh
right?
My goodness.
Is that okay?
That's crazy.
Let's talk about you, Hash. But yeah, so... No, I love it, man. Brandon, Hash, I know each of you guys kind of had another question light up on my page, but did you get it out in the course of the conversation, or did you still have something for Alex?
Go ahead, Brando.
Actually, I was, yeah, I guess.
Were you satisfied and smiling?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thanks, Brandon. Appreciate that, buddy.
Sorry, I was kind of hoping that maybe along those lines you'd ask your question, Hatch, because I felt like
there we go. Honestly,
it was
I was looking at the clock. I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, all right, hour 2 minutes 55 seconds. We're in the second half, people. Here it comes. All right, so
oh boy, I don't know what's coming, Alex.
I was thinking about this on my way home yesterday. Right.
Is this Hatch's random thought of the week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is.
Right.
I wrote this down.
I called everybody on the team because it's like stand up. Sometimes these bigger comedians, they got to go to... I'm not saying I'm a big comedian, but, I'm a funny guy sometimes when I'm with my boys.
Claim credit, right? You are.
So I gotta test it out before I bring it to the show. So I called all my teammates. I'm like, yo, all right.
The show being the pits.
Alex, you get approached by a baker. A magic baker.
Okay.
Right? And he is like, all right, Alex, I'm going to make magic donuts.
Okay.
And these donuts... Every donut you eat, you're going to get $100,000.
Okay.
But you get 10 pounds of pure fat put onto you.
None.
Right the second you swallow it. And the only way you can get that off is no Ozempic, no surgery, by the grind. That's the only way you can get it back. How many donuts are you eating?
None.
None?
None.
What? You're not even doing 10 pounds and working it off for 100K?
I want you to understand something, okay?
He's
okay.
I have lost over 60 pounds in fat already. I'm not doing it.
Damn, dude.
I'm not doing it, dog.
That is discipline right there.
It's the question of someone who's never been over 200 pounds in their life. That's what I'm hearing right now.
Like, dude, I was over 300 at one point in my life, and now
I've not been there, but I've been over 2, and I'm like, oh, this is scary.
Yeah, I've been over 300. I'm not doing it, dog. It's not worth 10 pounds of pure fat. Like, it's just not worth it.
You know,
for me.
that's logical. For me, as a string bean, I'm like, I could turn that into something. You know?
Fuck it, brother.
You know,
yeah.
Give me that milli, brother. Give me that milli.
You know? Pat, you want to know something funny? You could eat 110 pounds of fat right now, and you'd still weigh less than Alex in his current shape. So,
dude, honestly,
think about that one, buddy.
Dude,
how much do you weigh right now, Hatch?
I weighed myself yesterday. I'm 149.
Jesus Christ, you are
you weigh
an
less than
adult
my
male.
wife.
Hey, man.
I
haven't weighed that since I was like 12, bro. Like, it's been a while.
Hey, I could have lied. I could have lied and said 160.
You should have, honestly.
No, I should not have, because I'm not a fucking liar. I'm authentic here.
Yeah, and
I don't think I've weighed that little since like 5th grade.
Like 5'9" and 1/4.
5'9". Okay.
5'9". You said 5th grade, Alex. Wait, how tall are you?
I was a fat boy, dog. I was fat.
Alex is tall as well.
I'm 6 foot. Yeah.
I feel like you're a little taller.
Were you like one of those like? Were you like one of those
down at you that
boys?
No, I was just fat, dog.
Okay.
I was just straight up fat, man.
I was trying to give you an out and just no. Okay.
No, I'm gonna own it, man. I was just fat.
No, okay, I like it.
So you couldn't start for Nebraska?
No, I was just fat, man.
Damn.
I like donuts. Which is why I know I'm not eating a donut for $100,000.
Okay. So to everybody else, Ryan, Brando, what would you guys? How many donuts do you guys eat? $100,000 per donut, but you get 10 pounds of fat put on you.
Let me explain.
Is it tax free?
Yeah. Tax free, baby. Cash.
Right. I would do 1. Biggest reason is that's a slippery slope. You do 5, you aren't gonna. Dude, 50 pounds of just direct
instantly,
fat
bro,
is going to affect you in ways you are not thinking right now. Your testosterone is going to go down. Like, you are going to have gross changes in your life based off that instant amount of just fat being added to your body. So,
You'll fall over.
I would do 10 pounds because, yes, 100K, that would be helpful. We could pay some shit off. We could put some stuff towards the future. I would love that. And I do think I could get back from 10 pounds. I've done it before. I will probably have to do it again. So I would be okay with 1 donut for tax-free 100K for 10 pounds.
Damn.
I'm gonna do more.
Okay. I said 3. No more than 3. All right, that still keeps me under 200 pounds. Yeah, that would have put me at 195.
I'm actually slightly under right now, but
yeah, it would keep me under 200 pounds, and I don't think I have to change too much of my what I'm doing now because I track my macros.
40% fat though, bro. That's low key making you look like the Left 4 Dead 2 boomer, bro. The Left 4 Dead 2 boomer. You know what I'm saying?
I'm already playing a 3 on the field. Like, okay, whatever.
Okay. The smallest 3 I ever done seen.
I think if it was $500,000, I'd do 1. I'd do 1.
That's too much, though.
$500,000, you would do 1.
Yeah, and the reason I say that is because that would like allow me to do nothing but work out all the time. Right, like I could just commit, right, and just get it off fast and get super shredded.
Hypotheticals. People don't realize, like, if someone offers you $2 million for something, okay, put that and get 5% a year. That's a good salary for the rest of your life, doing whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah,
forever.
dude, I'm the kind of guy where 100K would change my life, bro. You know,
100K would change my life too. Like, to be honest with you, but I also know how hard it is for me to get 10 pounds of pure fat off my body.
That's valid.
It's just not worth it.
And that's another thing that I was asking everybody. I was like, you guys know yourselves. be honest with yourselves. Do you think your body could even handle, like somebody was like, I'll take 6. I was like, dude, do you even think your body could handle 60 pounds of pure fat put on it at once? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, y'all are crazy, bro. That's insane.
I could eat 5 and be physically okay, like immediately. Be physically okay, but I'd be miserable.
This is something we brought up with Colt in the past, and sorry, Colt, we're not picking on you, buddy, but we talked about this in the past. He's fucking playing paintball with 50 to 60 extra pounds just on his back constantly like a weight vest. And you see it now that he's lost a good 30 to 40 of that. He's already so much lighter and quicker on the field because his muscles are used to doing it with so much more on his back. So, yeah, I mean, it is a significant change to a person when you add that much fat to a body.
Think about this too, Hatch. You have to buy a whole new wardrobe.
That's also what we were saying.
None of your clothes fit.
That's also what we were saying. Like, dude,
none of your clothes fit.
Like, okay, luckily, the one thing that would fit is this 2XL 2-ton Oni shirt that he gave me. This one for sure would fit on me.
Maybe not. Fat fits weird, dog. Fat fits weird.
But you gotta remember, I'm a string bean, bro. The wind is too fast. I fly away, bro.
Yes, weird.
Hatch, please continue to tell me, 149-pound man, about how hard it is to be over 250 pounds against our man who is currently
I don't know how hard it would be.
230, somewhere right there.
250.
Yeah, 250 currently right now. Please keep
I was
explaining
254
this.
yesterday.
Well, I'm just curious. You know, you never know. It could hit me with the SpongeBob Krabby Patty, where when Squidward eats the Krabby Patty and it goes straight to his thighs. That could be me. You never know.
That's a weird thing though, because typically fat like that doesn't do that. It usually sits around the midsection and goes around your intestines and all that stuff. So you get really big guts. Which is an
evolutionary trait because you have a rib cage to protect your heart and your lungs, but your fucking small intestine has
6
nothing.
donuts. You ain't even seeing your dick
put
anymore,
some
bro.
fat
6
there,
donuts.
and when a sword slices you,
that's insane.
Yeah, no, it's bad, dog.
Hatch, I don't think I've ever seen you eat more than 1,000 calories in a sitting, dog.
We need to make 1,000 calories in a single sitting. That's a lot.
You can't. That's way too much.
Dude, I can, misbreathe.
Hatch, have you ever
it's like
eaten
spaghetti. It's like spaghetti. I can fucking murder that shit.
Hey, Hatch, have you ever eaten 2 donuts in one sitting?
Yeah, for sure.
That's over 1,000 calories, dog.
Okay, really?
Yeah, sugar. Yeah, it's pretty easy with that.
Dog.
Oh, okay. Empty calories. Empty calories. Those are like...
Yeah.
Like one fucking Krispy Kreme.
Okay, dude, if we're talking lettuce, bro, it's gonna take a long time to get to 1,000 calories.
Oh, dude, does lettuce even have calories, or is it celery that has like
got a couple
calories?
Celery's the
Celery's
negative, right?
like negative calorie.
Yeah.
Literally empty calories. Damn,
Well, it's all
about
water.
Pickles too, Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah, man used to be fat. This man used to. That's how I know.
You like pickles?
This is how you can tell.
I hate pickles, but I know about pickles.
Any fat man who used to be fat and is now skinny knows every single trick to getting like a couple calories off here and a couple calories off there.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
Yeah,
damn, dude,
you gotta
I'm a pickle
learn
guy.
these things, man.
I love me some pickles, bro.
Yeah, Hatch do be love pickles, which is weird because that's like one of the few things you do like. Like, you don't like
dude.
most foods, but pickles, you're like, give me the whole jar. Let me see.
All right, Alex, you're about to get to know me, dude. I'm so fucking weird. There's some foods that everybody likes that I just don't like. Like
He has a child's palate. I'll just say that.
Okay, no,
It's
because I don't
one
like
of the
chocolate.
pickiest eaters
I
I've
don't
ever
like
met
chocolate.
as an adult.
Chocolate is one of those where I'm like, bro, no way.
Like, at all?
Like, okay, I can have a Reese's cup, but it has to be like, heavily outweighed with peanut butter.
What about like a Snickers?
That's like a rare chance where, if
Kit
I'm
Kat?
like, I could eat Kit Kat. It has to be like overweight. The chocolate, like a Hershey's bar, like milk chocolate bar, no way.
What about like a
It's
Hershey's
not great
Kiss?
chocolate in general, but
No, not my
No?
thing. Do not like it. It's too much chocolate for me.
What about like an Oreo?
That's okay, but like,
okay, do you guys now understand why I call him the Enigma? All right, this man is not a real human being. Okay.
What about like a
Jesus
chocolate
Christ,
chip
Hatch.
cookie?
it depends on the ratio from cookie to chocolate chip.
Like just
What,
a
of like
standard
just
chocolate
like-
chip cookie, dog.
Like
Like,
Chips Ahoy, okay, it depends. If we're talking like pre-2006 Chips Ahoys when they were actually good, those were so good, bro.
Always the dude with the pickiest taste who's pulling out the most obscure foods.
No,
Like,
you cannot tell me that Chips Ahoy were not different back then.
Payday bars were a lot better because the peanuts were fresh. Now they're frozen. They just don't hit the same
All right, here's
anymore.
another example, dude. After 2009, Twinkies were never the same. I'm saying it, bro. I'm saying it.
What was never the same?
Bro.
Twinkies. Ever since Zombieland, Twinkies were never the same.
I thought, well, they did go out of business.
They did, and they changed the recipe. They fucked up.
Probably because they were bought by like some investment firm that changed it for them.
Hostess,
so
yeah.
Freaking bullshit. So anyway, yeah, my mind is an enigma. So
It is. I will never
So you're
understand it.
eating one
Really
donut
love
for
that.
500K.
Yeah, for 10
All
pounds
right.
of fat. Yeah, I do it
Okay.
for half a mil. Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
All right.
Damn.
And then I'll eat one for 100. Brandon, you said 6?
Whoa, 3. Give me 3.
3. Okay.
God
And
damn.
how many were you doing, Hatch?
Shit, bro.
I thought you said 5 originally.
I would honestly, all right, 6 if I can have Alex as my trainer. You know what I'm saying? If I could just dedicate that to where Alex is my trainer, I'm losing that easily.
Well, and if you eat 6, you can just pay him 100K, no sweat, you know.
That's what I was gonna
What you
say.
made that year.
Oh, valid. Well, he ate a donut. He ain't hurting. He ate a donut too for 500K.
Yeah,
He ain't
but
hurting.
hey, personal training ain't easy or cheap. So
Valid.
pay up.
Valid.
Correct.
It's all
Well, the thing
proprietary
is,
knowledge, my man.
He knows that I ate the donut, so he knows exactly how much I got.
Yeah,
So,
correct.
God damn it.
True, yeah, he knows to name his price.
So he knows.
You have no chips in this argument. You have now forfeited, Hatch. Boys, let's move forward a little bit more to March Madness. We got to wrap this up. We've been talking about it all through March. It's now April, so it's no longer March. But Brandon, did you
If
watch
you're
that game
Houston,
last night?
how
That
are
was
you
a
upset?
great
How
game
upset
last
are you?
night.
Say it again.
We overloaded Brando.
Yeah.
Great game last night. He said, if you're Houston, how upset are you? Because I would be very upset.
Oh, I mean, I'd be pissed on how it ended. I didn't. I assume what the rules were. But I don't know college basketball that well, you know, because obviously I don't know basketball that well. It's the one sport I don't really watch much. But I am upset that Houston beat Duke because I wanted Duke in Florida. But once I saw it was Houston and Florida, I was like, hell yeah, let's go Florida. And with Florida winning, I know that made you.
Yeah,
you know,
it
in
was
the
good
light,
for my
right?
bracket. If Duke was there, it would have been better. For the first time ever, my bracket placed high enough that I get my entry back. Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Hey,
It's crazy
boy,
because
Matt,
if you've
that's
never
profit.
done a March Madness bracket, you know how goddamn hard that is. So I put in $20, I get $20 back. But out
Dude.
of about 12,000 brackets, I placed top 500. So
Hey, dude,
let's
boy,
go.
Matt, that's
I
profit.
rode Florida the whole way. Did really good throughout the Elite Eight. We've been talking about it on the show, so I won't bore you guys with it more. But yes, for the first time in my life, I bought a bracket, and it actually is giving me money back at the end. So. Fuck yeah, feels good. Except it doesn't because it was all 1 seeds, so it fucking it's a hollow victory nonetheless. But yes, March Madness is over, ladies and gentlemen in the audience. We probably won't talk about it anymore. One last thing though, obviously we didn't talk about it, but because the games happened this weekend, Duke fucking completely choked it. That whole game was crazy. I don't know how they had even put themselves into that situation at the first point. We were doing a live watch for Drinking Bros Studios, so we watched that game in Florida back to back, and it was clear at that moment that Florida was going to win the championship. And then they tried their goddamn hardest at the end to not win it and pretty much give it back to Houston. But yeah, enough time. They barely by the skin of their teeth made it through. And holy shit, man. It was a good tournament this year. It was fun to watch. There's some good games. There's some great betting lines. There was some good bracket stuff. It was fun all around. It's what you want from March Madness. So yeah, till next year, fair March. We will see you again.
Till next March.
Next March.
Now I wonder what's the probability of all the first seeds being in the final four, you know, and how often has
I think
it
it's the
happened
first
before?
time it's happened. Well, not first time it's happened. I think it's last time was like 08. I want to say
Okay.
something like that. Like it does happen from time to time, but it's not. I mean, it's March Madness. It's not common. I will say there was some stat that these final four teams, so the top 1 seeds of each bracket, were like the best historical, like all within the top 20 historical best college basketball teams of all time by the numbers. So it just seemed that from the beginning, those teams were just head and shoulders better than the rest.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was exciting. If we're all done with March Madness, guys, we can get on to another special sports thing that is going to start this weekend. It's already going to be over by the time this podcast is live, but we're still going to talk about it because, boys, it's your tradition, unlike any other. Are you guys ready to put your green jackets on and go to the fucking Masters, baby? Because goddamn, it's happening this weekend. I know no one cares about golf, but I now work at a work environment where they have a show picking golf winners. And I will say this. There is something special about the Masters. I've already been watching all of their content on Instagram. It's the only tournament I tuned in and actually watched live during the year. It's the Masters. It's a magical place in Georgia where dreams come true, and we're about to go back this weekend. It's Jim Nance, right? He's the commentator behind it with the just amazing voice, and it just tells the story of the tale. And man, I'm so excited. I can't wait. It's always the best weekend of the year because, it's starting to get into summer. The spring is finally sprung, and it's great. Brando, you ever watch the Masters? I know Hatch hasn't, so I'm just going to ask you first.
Whoa! My girlfriend golfs, first of all, buddy. Jump. This is the gun. This is you. You jumped it, bro.
Jumped the gun? You mean the shark?
My girlfriend watches golf because she plays golf, so I sit there and watch too.
You've never once told me that about Tegan, so good to know. I'll talk to Tegan about golf. Love that.
Yeah, she knows what's up.
But yeah, so you're gonna watch the Masters?
Yep. I'm gonna try to, without falling asleep, maybe.
There's just something. Look, and I get it because golf is, in particular, it's a long sport. It takes 4 days to go. It's playing a round of 18 takes a couple hours in of itself.
Every time they hit the ball, take a shot. That's how you got to get me. You know what I'm saying?
Hatch, you can't do 3 hard AF seltzers. That's not gonna go well, my man.
And by shots, I meant sips.
There you go. That'd be better. That'd be better.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Gonna overdo it.
Every single time someone hits the ball.
But yeah, I know we don't have much to talk about with the Masters, so we'll keep moving forward. Alex, I guess, are you going to be watching this weekend? Are you a big golf guy at all?
I am a big golf guy. I played golf for a long time. Still a golf guy.
Nice. Normal or miniature?
Normal.
Okay, I was curious.
I'll spank it in miniature, dog.
Oh, okay.
I'm very good at putt-putt,
Hatch,
too.
that might be an original question. I don't know if anyone said, yeah, I play golf, and been followed up with, regular or miniature?
It's pretty good.
That's a valid question.
Good line, dog.
It's a great thought.
I have to classify, because if you were to ask me, I'd be like, oh, dude, I'm a fucking... I shoot fucking perfect games, at my local, miniature course.
The local muni? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The local Blackbeards. I hit bangers at the local Blackbeards, bro.
God damn it.
That's great. That's great.
Well, I love you for that, Hatch. That's beautiful, my man. All right. Well, we got through the random thought. We got through March Madness. Boys, do you want to talk about some nerd shit here real quick for a little bit?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I got some special things to show off. So let me grab these and get these ready. Okay. We got 2 sections tonight because we got some slabs and we got some singles. So we'll go through singles first. Obviously, if you haven't listened to the show and you're just here for Alex, appreciate you guys being here. I'm a nerd and I like trading cards. Most people know that by now. There's a trading card game I play. It's called Magic the Gathering. It's about like dragons and elves and squirrels and all creatures of types fighting against each other.
Shit.
Panslaza, baby. Cranko.
That is until 2 weeks ago, when Wizards of the Coast announced, sold, and dropped a product that has blown my goddamn mind. Ladies and gentlemen,
let's hear it.
I present to you SpongeBob SquarePants officially licensed Magic
Holy
cards.
fucking shit, that is my deck.
Oh, fuck.
So,
that is my deck.
I am not even joking.
Get me on there.
These are official cards. They have the WotC Magic the Gathering backing on them. There is Gary. There is Plankton. If he
I'm
wants
going to
to
buy a
focus
pack right
up. They've already sold out. They sold out on the day of release.
Hey, I'm about to find my local GameStop.
Penny Pincher. These do not come out at GameStop. These came out online only. Their secret lair drop. Squidward. And then Patrick Starr. I love that art
Patrick
for
with the
Patrick.
board on his head. Come on, bro. Bubble stand.
Now, you may be saying out there, Ryan, you're missing 2 very important characters. Well, A, Sandy Cheeks has been added to one of my decks I already have. She is a squirrel after all, and I have a deck that has squirrels, so she was added to that deck.
Oh
and
my god, that's genius.
The man, the myth himself, SpongeBob SquarePants, was set in to PSA, and so in about 2.5 months, I will be able to show you guys a slab with PSA, with a PSA grading on it and SpongeBob SquarePants. The main reason is he's a type of character I never would really play, so I was like, fuck it, it's cool to have like a card with SpongeBob art on it as a
SpongeBob,
PSA slab. So yeah, these are controversial. Made a lot of people very upset when they came out because they thought this was this is not magic in their opinion. But I love it. Me and Anthony love it very much because it pisses off old magic heads. And yeah, so those finally came in. I wanted to show you guys those. There was another set I ordered in that, but it's not SpongeBob cards, so no one cares about that. I'll save you guys the view of that and the wasting time. Now, moving forward, last part, we got some slabs to show you guys, some PSA drop-ins that have now come back to me. These 2 slabs were dropped off on January 30th, 2025. It's a long fucking time ago. I had to wait a fucking while for these to come back, boys. Now, Hatch, I've been telling you about an order for about that amount of time. That is very special, and I won't even show you the card or tell you what it is.
Have you already seen the grades on them?
I've seen the grades on them because they send you an email with the grades on them, and it's very hard not to spoil it. So I've seen them. But Hatch, you don't even know what the cards I'm about to show you are. So these are very special. These are very cool ones. I'm excited to show them off. So here, let me try to make sure we're covering that grade. First things first, we got a numbered card out of 79. Bringing it on into camera. It is mirrored, unfortunately. That is a Lightning McQueen colored refractor from Topps Chrome Disney. Really cool card. Like I said, out of 79, I think it's like 43 or 42, one of those two.
Dan, so there's only 79 of those cards?
It's sick. Wait, what's up?
There's only 79 of those cards?
Yeah, so there's only 79 of this card that was ever made in existence. That's cool. And this one is graded in a 10. So a PSA 10, an absolute perfect quality.
Wow. That's a personal collection, bro. It's got to be.
This is going in the PC. I loved watching the Cars movie when I grew up. This is a case hit, so this is a super special hit that only goes into certain boxes within a case. So I was lucky to pull it, and that's going in the personal collection. I'm holding on to that one.
That is sick, dude.
And then Hatch, are you ready for this one?
Come on, don't fucking give me that look.
I don't know if you're ready for this one, buddy.
No, I'm not, bro.
This card is the single most valuable card I have pulled and sent into PSA and has been graded and sent back to me.
Okay.
This card.
Like, is that because of the grade, or is that just wrong?
It's because of the grade. It's because of the parallel. It's because of what card it is. It's because of the character that's on the card. There's many factors that go into it.
Is this Pokemon?
No.
Okay.
Are you gonna guess again, or?
All right. Give me a hot or colder. Is it Magic?
Colder.
Oh shit. Okay. Is it, what's that shit called? The Lucario, the Disney one?
Lorcana, warmer but also colder.
Okay, shit. Is it the Halo pack? No way, that was way after.
No.
Okay,
what did I just show you a fucking image of, bro?
Magic?
No, what was that last card, Hatch?
Fuck, dude, I don't even fucking remember, bro.
Oh my god, alright, it's Disney. It's Disney, you dumbass, because you can't fucking
I thought that was Lorcana, bro. I thought that was Lorcana.
No, okay. Hatch, so Lorcana is just a trading card game. There's more cards out there. This is not Lorcana. This Lightning McQueen is not from Lorcana. I thought the old
Disney was Lorcana.
No, that's not how that works, buddy. So, show this off. This is a Donald Duck gold refractor, parallel out of 50. So there's only 50 of these that exist. They were pulled out of a box of Topps Chrome Disney 2024. This is a huge card. Like I said, an absolute beautiful card when you see it in person. And as Hatch already, yeah, it's pristine. There's not a goddamn single flaw with this card. It is a gem mint 10.
That is clean. Like even on
card, yeah, even in the slab through the camera, you can tell it is just like any of the fingerprints are just on the case, but dude, when I opened the pack and saw this card, I was shaking. I instantly had that moment of like, oh my god, what the fuck, like that Parkinson's type moment. Made sure I sleeved it up super quickly, made sure there was no damage to it, which no damage was done because it is a perfect condition of a 10. And yeah, so unfortunately I have listed this one for sale.
Wow, that's crazy.
Reason being is because the card that is one parallel above this, so the out of 10 version, just went for $1,600 on the market. I'm sorry, I cannot hold on to a card that's kind of valued around $1,200 to $1,000 or $1,200 to $1,000. So I'm gonna have to list this one on the market. We're gonna hold on to the Lightning McQueen. It's worth a couple $100, but that's fine. I like it. I pulled it. It's my card. This one is listed on eBay, so go if you want to grab it. It's up there, but I can't afford to hold on to it. I mean, man, that's my rent for the month. Like, come on, are you kidding me? I gotta do that. That makes too much sense. And that's the gamble you take with sports card. So
good shit, dude.
Yep, been waiting, like I said, since January 30th to get both those back. I'm happy to have them safe in my hands now, as well as all these cool SpongeBob SquarePants Magic cards.
That's awesome.
So,
Alex, what are you a nerd about? Is there anything you're like a nerd about, like trading cards, gaming? Like, what is your like niche?
Ooh, nerd.
What is your poison?
Not a big nerd about a lot, to be honest with you. I say that as I sit there and I have a desktop full of Hot Wheels.
there you go.
So
There it is.
I got a lot of Hot Wheels. I'm a big car guy, so I got a lot of Hot Wheels sitting on my desk.
All right, what's your coolest Hot Wheel? What's your favorite one, at least?
Ooh. On my desk right now, it's probably this is a 1930s Ford
Like a
sedan. Yeah, but it's got it's a little bit heavier die cast, and it's actually got rubberized wheels on it. So it's a little bit higher quality than like a standard Hot Wheel. So that one's pretty dope.
Okay.
I got this little
Fat ass intake.
Ferrari as well.
Is that the rubber wheels as well?
Okay.
This one is not rubber
That's
wheels.
one of the Le Mans cars.
No. Yep.
If my Hot Wheels has rubber tires, I ain't letting a child play with it, bro.
This is a old Lotus
Yep.
That
Le
looks
Mans
so
car.
sick.
Yeah. And we got some hot rods. Dang, y'all got me nerding now.
I like
So
this.
There we go,
this
there we go.
is-
Cool shit here.
This is like a
you got
hot
a
rod
tower?
tractor trailer, and then that guy sits
You
right
got
on top of it.
tires? Fuck
So the
yeah.
hot
That is
rods to go
sick.
with it. Yeah, dog. We got some
This is
stuff.
the person behind the NXL social media page. So the next
A
time
little-
you
a
tell
little
him
VW pickup truck.
you
All
don't like
sorts
his
of stuff,
content, just imagine this guy showing you him with his little toy truck hauler that he has.
that-
It's beautiful.
You ever seen a VW hot rod? A little bug?
Damn. That's like Herbie McQueen.
Yeah, dude.
Herbie McQueen.
So yeah, I guess Hot Wheels. are my nerd thing.
Fuck
How'd you
yeah.
get into that?
I like cars, and Hot Wheels are cars.
Valid.
So
In mini
I don't
form.
know. Yeah, I mean, I spent a decade in the automotive industry, just about. So
Okay.
that's what I did long before I was the NXL media guy or the MLPB media guy. So yeah.
Okay. Are there any what's a way for a car to stand out for you? For you see like a Hot Wheels on you're just walking through Walmart and you see a Hot Wheels. You're like, what is something that would have?
What's the high value Hot Wheels that I can scalp on the market?
I wasn't saying that.
So there actually are like
Yeah.
high value
Oh, yeah, there
limited Hot Wheels. Yeah, I don't go hard. I got some friends that go hard on Hot Wheels. That's not me. For me, I find realistic like the real cars. So like the hot rods, stuff that I think that I could build myself, and then like realistic race cars. So like the Lotus, the Ferrari, stuff that's
You
real.
need
that
a P250,
I
the
don't need a
super classic
P250.
Ferrari. Yeah.
no.
They're beautiful,
But-
bro.
So like all the cool stuff, like real cars that actually exist, and then kind of hot rods, stuff like that. All the crazy Hot Wheels that they make, I'm not about. That's not my jam. I want real cars.
You're telling me you
So-
don't like the Sharkmobile?
No, man, I don't.
Transformers.
Yeah, so I mean,
I
My
will say
wife
an
hates it.
Optimus Hot Wheel would be fucking sick.
Optimus
Hell
would be
yeah.
hot. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be pretty sick.
with the movie paint job. I need the Michael Bay red and
Yeah.
like chrome blue. Yeah, goddamn.
Yeah.
With Megan Fox, who
sick.
also comes in the Hot Wheel. That'd be great. I would buy that day one, second one.
All right. I'll show you guys.
Tell me I'm wrong, Brandon.
No. You're ready for this? All right, watch. Check this out. You're about to see it.
I love this.
Yeah,
there she is.
I forget it's there. I forget it's there every time.
She's there.
She makes a
2009
brief
Megan Fox,
appearance.
baby. God damn, baby.
Rest of the year. Take me back, boys.
Keeps me motivated, dude. Whenever I wake up and I'm like, all right, dude, discipline. I come in here and I look at that shit. I look at that photo.
You just
and I'm
stare
like,
at it. You're like, hi, Megan.
I look at it and I'm like, if I couldn't fail, how far would I fucking go? You know?
That's great.
I'm getting FOMO.
Lightweight, creepy energy. I'm gonna be honest, Hatch, but do you, King?
Oh yeah, dude. For the dudes that do it in front of an Arnold poster aren't weird.
No.
I mean, you got the facial hair
It's
and
the
the
same
hair.
thing. It's the same thing.
One's a trick, one's a dream.
Yeah. You can tell yourself that.
I want the
of
dream
course,
girl.
bro.
I want the dream girl. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want.
That's why you
That
got
was my
Tegan,
dream
dog.
girl. What?
Yeah.
I said that's why you got Tegan, dog.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. Yep.
Recording on the internet right now, brother.
Hey, I'm not. She knows I'm loyal, baby. What's up, baby?
There you go. He's saved it. All right.
Salute, dude. I'm loyal. She's been in here. She knows she's up there.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. See, this is something that you can get away with, Hatch, but I know both Brando and Alex. I will not dock Alex's significant other, but they both cannot get away with this. So, yeah. Good job, Hatch. You found one who's chill with it.
My wife would beat me.
You know,
Yep. I feel you on that, Alex.
I'd probably get beat if it left poster and went into a frame. You know how when you're an adult and it's like the poster's got to come off the
get a
wall,
shadow
and now
box
they got to
for
put
it?
and they got to put it in a picture frame like that. Like, right? I could have
Go
that
find
painting on
like
wall,
the costume
right?
designer of Transformers and get one of her tank tops, shadow
You know what I'm
box on
saying?
the poster.
Right? So, you know what I'm saying?
Dude.
No, I don't know what you're saying, my guy.
Modern day people that go for Sabrina Carpenter, dude, would have died for Megan Fox back in the day.
Hey, well, yes, I did die
Same
for
vibe.
Megan Fox back in the day, and I do die for Sabrina Carpenter now. They just added her to Fortnite. She's my queen.
That's crazy. Fortnite.
End of sentence. I'm done.
Damn,
yeah.
dude. I'm probably gonna fire at
Mic
you.
drop.
Damn, dude. That is
Dude, I love Sabrina. I'm
Fortnite
sorry.
fucking
Everything
goes,
I
bro.
do is
That's
for
amazing.
Sabrina Carpenter, okay?
Facts.
Keep dreaming, big dog. Keep
Dude,
dreaming.
I every night and twice on the weekends. It's great. I love her.
I mean, you might want to keep that to yourself. You know, we are recording on the internet.
Well, but
Yeah, dude, that's creepy, bro. That's like some creep shit, dude.
I'm okay
On
with
Patreon,
that
you can
one.
see it, though.
On Patreon, yeah. Do we drop the act and then we just let it all go on Patreon? Talk about our celebrity crushes. Who would want to fuck? It really becomes TMZ. We don't talk about paintball at all. It's crazy. But no, boys. Let's get back to it. Another topic I wanted to bring up tonight because I thought all of us are in the right age group to have a good opinion on this.
All right, let's hear it.
And maybe we, a little bit of discussion here. Do you guys remember a special little TV show that aired in the mid 2000s? I want to say starting around the years 03, ending around the 2010s, called Mythbusters.
Absolutely. I have heard of this. I thought you were going to go like childhood shows. Like, bro, I grew up poor, dude. I only had PBS.
What
I
kind
didn't
of
have all the good
question
shit.
is
I
that?
was. It's not that you remember it, but I watched a great video on it today. It jogged my memory of the show as a whole, and I wanted to discuss it a little bit because some of the shit that they did on that show, you just forget was allowed to be on television. They filled a cement mixer with 800 pounds of binary explosive.
Yeah, dog.
React, please, because
Like,
that's
some Michael Bay
shit.
shit. That is some
insane.
Transformers Michael Bay.
Getting
No,
the
it's not
permits to
insane.
do that today would be ridiculously hard in California.
You know why? Because Mythbusters did it.
Yes, and they broke fucking like windows and everything.
Yeah.
If anyone's interested, Adam Savage has multiple videos on his YouTube channel where he will talk about like behind the scenes stories and and old
That
myths and
show
stuff
was
like that.
epic, dude.
There were so many times when things could have gone so wrong in that show. The time they sent a cannonball through someone's home on Alameda Island, which is the other kind of cool thing of growing up in Northern California,
Yep.
because all of this was taking place an hour and a half from where I was living, and so it was cool to be like, oh, I know that. Oh yeah, I know that place. Oh, that's cool. The Mythbusters
What
are
was your
there.
guys' favorite myth? Like, I remember one where it was
Ooh,
like
there's some good
the
ones.
hot
That's a
water
hard
cooler
question.
blowing up through the fucking house. And I was like,
The hot water
that's
heater,
definitely,
yep.
that's definitely a
When
myth.
they
And then
recreated
they did
it.
it. She literally shot 150 fucking feet in the air.
Yep,
I'm like,
that's
bro,
a great one.
That is insane.
I honestly think the the cement truck full of explosives.
Yeah, it's
is
because
my
that
top.
moment is so good of not only the explosion itself and just seeing it become dust instantly, but the view of everyone working on that shoot just like instantly freaking out, and like whoever set up that camera angle, great force thought on that.
Also, to wrap it back into paintball, have you seen their demonstration of the comparison between CPU and GPU power?
Yeah.
Is that the one with the Mona Lisa? Is that the Mona Lisa one?
Yes,
I have
and they
seen
used
that
paintball
one. I
markers
love
for
that
it.
one.
Yeah.
But that was
all back to paintball.
That was like a different tour or something they did. But
Yeah,
but
it
yeah,
was.
It was like a show at like a museum or some shit they were doing.
Yeah.
Reminiscing back to the early days of television, because that show started, like I said, 2003. So
How about Dirty Jobs?
Dirty
Dude,
Jobs is another great one.
Do a podcast
Dude,
with that guy
Discovery
on
was
there.
goated back
Just
in the day.
all the OG Discovery shows, dude. All of them.
Exactly. Yeah, Discovery
That
had the
era
best
of
lineup for
Discovery
like
was the
that,
best.
like kind of educational, very entertainment heavy like type television. It was great.
I agree. And dude, I remember when Animal Planet actually had fucking animals on it. Now
Yeah.
there's like nothing on there with animals. It's so.
Everyone's made that joke before, Ash.
I'm just saying, dude. And okay, I'll make it with I'll make it with Discovery, bro. They started. Okay, I liked it, but I thought that they were kind of going downhill when everything was about like the ghost hunting, right? I thought Ghost Adventures was good, right? That was the only good one.
They
But
brought
then
in a
once
couple
had,
shows.
like, once they had a ton of ghost shows, I was like, oh, these kind of suck.
So I loved the early seasons of it, but I think really when Discovery started going downhill is when Gold Rush started.
Yeah.
Gold Rush.
Like that was the show that took it.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end.
Popularity of like everything to like just being bad.
Does
And
Discover have Ice Road Truckers?
no,
Yes.
that was History Channel.
No, that was, or was it A&E?
Ooh, it may have been A&E too.
on it.
Speaking of fucking Gold
Deadliest
Rush though.
Catch.
That's exactly what I was going to
Another
say. Thank
micro.
you, Hatch, for ruining that reveal, because it was the predecessor to Gold Rush as like the dangerous job. People, look at these real men doing some real tough shit while you sit at your house, and
sissy.
eventually it kind of fizzled out. But that
People
show
actually
for about
died
10
on that
years,
show.
yes,
Yeah.
and it was amazing. Goddamn,
Yeah.
what was the Norwegian captain who always had a cigarette in his hand
Phil?
all of the fucking time? Was it Phil? I forget his name.
He's the guy that I think Phil's the guy that died.
Was it
A number
Sig?
of them died.
Yes,
That was the captain. I'm pretty sure his name was Phil. He was a captain.
I don't know if it was
Could've been more
Phil. I
overweight.
remember a Sig being a captain because he had like this huge white beard and everything. But yeah, there was some great characters on that show in the OG days. Another one of those shows that it's early 2000s TV is the best to go back and just watch randomly and like just pick a season, watch
Yeah.
through that season, because the time jump of like seeing the technology differences, seeing like the, like outfits and all that shit that's different too, but then also just seeing like how far as a society we've come, and like seeing just the shit that was allowed to air on television merely 20 years ago. It was
Absolutely.
so wild.
It's funny
What'd
that
you find,
brought up-
Brando?
Oh, that's
I was Ice Road Trekkers was on the History Channel, and I was just looking down History Channel TV
Ancient
shows,
Aliens?
and Shootout. I remember Shootout being on there, and that's learning a lot about the I'm trying to find it. Sorry, the North Hollywood Shootout.
That's a great time in history. We can get to that in a second though, because we were talking about Deadliest Catch.
Sorry.
Goddammit, do not take us
Yeah.
over to Shootout.
King Crab.
Deadliest Catch needs its place in history, because there's probably people out here who've maybe only like seen some clips of it on reels and haven't actually watched episodes. It was wild for just
mom would
being on
religiously watch
national
that shit.
television. My whole family did, dude. Like that was one of the shows like that. Lost, The Office. Like my family would religiously sit down, Mythbusters, and like watch it, all together when it came out on Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever night of the week it was.
You don't even get that anymore now that everything's on like a streaming service. You
I will
watch it
say
just whenever
some
you want.
streamers do a weekly release for shows. Like there's some shows that still follow that. Like every Sunday
big
they'll drop
shows
one.
do.
Yeah. Which
Like, I
I
remember
kind of
Walking
like.
Dead fever. Like that was a real thing. Every
Yeah.
Sunday people would do
Dog.
The Walking Dead.
That show was great for 4 seasons, and then
I
it
agree.
needed to die with fire and never come
I
back
still don't even
ever
know
again.
how is it over? Is it still going on? I don't know.
I think it's still going. I
That's
stopped
fucking
caring.
gross.
I stopped
That's
giving a
insane.
fuck.
God.
I was still in high school when I stopped caring, man.
Dude, I just remember like cable and TV shows back in the day, like it was like a culture. Where it was like,
I've heard someone was talking about this recently, and that there's like kind of been a cultural shift where you'll still have these big shows, you know, these Severances, or you know, these kind of shows that hit the zeitgeist and everyone talks about them in social media and all this stuff, but it's not nearly as common as back in the day when you only had the 4 channels to watch. Because okay, Lost comes out on Tuesday night. Wednesday, everyone at work is talking about Lost last night because everyone had to watch it that night, because only 10% of the population even had a TiVo and could like record it and watch it after. So
you were behind if you missed it.
Yeah, and there wasn't necessarily social media to spoil it, but just going to work or school the next day, someone would be talking about it because that was, you know, the thing that happened last night.
You know, one that I never really jumped on board for, but I remember when I was like freshman in high school, maybe 8th grade, middle school kind of thing. Some people were like obsessed with Jersey Shore, and that was like the hot shit back then. People were like, dude, you guys know about fucking Pauly D? And I'm like, no, bro, I'm watching Animal Planet. Relax.
So my take on this is hilarious because at the time when those shows were airing, my dad would have murdered me for watching any of them, so I didn't watch them at the time. But now I go back and watch them with streamers who are reacting to it and making jokes along the way, and it's
wild.
some of the best content I've ever seen in my life. Because now that I'm the age of these people who are doing these crazy things on camera, it's the perspective you have is just it's hilarious. Also knowing that half of it is fake, because almost all reality television back then was the 4x3 format. Like, oh God, there's just so many things about it I just love. It is definitely one of my guilty pleasures is to watch like old school reality shows from the 2000s, because they were just different, bro. Like there was no rules.
Fear Factor, dude. I miss that show.
Yep. If Joe Rogan ain't hosting it, it's not good.
Facts. Damn. I wonder if he would ever come back and do it.
Joe Rogan literally choked a dude out on Fear Factor. You guys know about this moment, right?
I remember that one.
Got too close to Joe.
Yep. Don't touch that man. That's a bad man.
He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? When he was like freaking out, he's like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's just like subduing him. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
I do love how Joe's head is significantly smaller in that portion of his life.
Well, he had hair.
Pre HGH. That's what it was.
Okay.
Look at his head today. Pull up a side by side. Hatch right now on your monitor. Pull up Joe Rogan 2025. I'm gonna make you do this. Pull it up.
And then
Joe
Rogan 2000.
Rogan 2025.
It's easier to notice with his hair today. That is true, because he is bald. He's a bald man.
He's bald as hell. All right, now I'm gonna look at Joe Rogan. What year?
Let's go 2000 and what? 4?
6.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
2000.
4, 5, 6.
2005.
20 years ago.
See some images.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely has hair.
Yeah.
Yep, has hair. So now notice his head and how big his head is in proportion to things around him.
I'm looking at these side-by-side pictures. Damn, dude. Like who you are and who she tells you not to worry about.
Exactly, bro. And here's the thing. You can work out a lot. Alex, have you grown your head since you've started powerlifting? Has that happened?
No.
Has your skull increased in mass?
No.
No, that's an
Probably
HGH
shrunk.
thing.
No, dude, it's probably from his fucking podcast with all the guests with the knowledge that he has. His brain's getting so fucking big.
Yeah, you go with that, Hatch. You
Definitely not, dog.
I'm telling dude, I'm gonna be that way.
We,
bro. My
we
head's
need
gonna
to
be
get a
huge with all the knowledge I
phrenologist
get from
over
you.
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
This man.
My brain's gonna be huge by episode 300 of this
Dude,
podcast.
the phrenologist is gonna do Hatches though, and we're gonna get all these like he's a sneaky man, like he's he's not to be trusted or
Untrustworthy,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
God.
The long nose of a lying, fill in the word here, that they would say back then, but we can't say it today because YouTube does not like it. So boys, television was great back in the day. I miss Mythbusters. And with talking about the segment, I do say rest in peace to Grant and Mahara, who did die in a paramotor accident, unfortunately, which is
Wild.
It's ironic for not good reasons, but yeah. So that's sad because he was a great man. Knew a lot about science, was a good dude. So yeah, that's sad.
What
but
are you doing flying with a fan
He was
on your
great.
back?
Yeah, get out of the sky. Are you God? You're not God. All right, take the fan off your back. Get out of the sky, Woody.
Remember when they myth busted the thing in Pirates of the Caribbean when they were carrying the boat underwater?
Yes.
And they straight myth busted that shit.
That was a great test by them. I'm trying to think. What was? There was there was the one that they did. It was in one of the later seasons. They tested what was the most efficient ways to board like airlines. So Southwest actually bought data from that study to then that's why they now do the boarding groups and all that like type of stuff. I just thought that was cool.
I heard they're going away from that, which I hope not.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they are, maybe they are. I don't know. But I just thought that was cool that some funny Discovery show actually like made things more efficient in real life. Because when was the last time anything like that's ever happened? And then they blew shit up too, so they do that a lot as well. And a lot of gun shit. Love that. They did try to curve bullets. They did the whole wanted myth. I don't know if you guys did that.
Oh, I do remember that. I actually used to love that video game.
I feel like every time you grab an airsoft gun, you're just like, I gotta see if I can do it right.
I do with my paintball
and then
gun,
you just shoot your friend who's next to you. Yes, because an airsoft gun is a gun. Because airsoft, they're full of horrible people, just mean. They shoot each other a lot over burning patches. They go full auto indoors. But paintballers are respectful, and that's why we use markers.
I'm pretty sure I just sent in our group chat maybe yesterday, like one of those newer airsoft rage videos that I saw where people were like fighting over that shit.
That was a wild video.
That shit was insane, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god. At least we don't get like that.
It's funny when I send that.
Anymore.
Anymore. Yeah. Thank you, Alex. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Iron Mike Baird.
You're welcome.
It's funny because I sent Gavin that video, right? And Gavin is our airsoft kid that he's played.
I feel bad because now he has to defend all of airsoft to us constantly.
No, he
understands.
It's not too good. All right, I love that.
His reaction was like, "Dude, it's been a while since I've seen something like that. Thank you, bro." Right?
Give some context because I haven't seen it. People of our audience probably haven't seen it.
So basically, I think so. These dudes are in a scenario game where they're in the woods, playing, doing their thing, and I think a guy gets like overshot, don't use full auto in the building type shit, right? And he walks over and is like confronting this guy, but the guy who is the confronter is like this.
Not the confronted.
The confronter. I would probably say he looks like a guy that like definitely, maybe like a past military experience. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Breaks laws. Okay.
Sure. And the other guy is like talking shit to him for overshooting is like this fucking, this kid who's just like talking shit, right? He's like, oh, just fucking walk away, bro. And then just egging him on. And then eventually the guy gets tired of this fucking kid talking shit to him. So he fucking beats his ass, right? And the kid pulls up his gun.
Damn right, yeah.
No, the kid, because the reason why he straight beat his ass is because the kid pulls up his gun and is straight annihilating him.
Well, no, the dude shoved him first. The dude shoved the kid. He was like, shut up, and he like fucking shoves the shit out of him.
Secondary homie comes in and then starts fucking annihilating him.
Yeah, he pulls his gun up, then 3 of his boys pull their guns up and start shooting at this guy. Yeah, and then it's a fight. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, a fight after that. No Russian, and they just start fucking all shooting this one guy, and I'm like, what is happening right now? So, but I love.
And then
videos.
Nothing happens because it's airsoft.
They walked away. Yeah, they said.
Everyone walks away.
Let me change my tampon after this, and we'll go back and start the game.
No one was hurt. The video was cut off before it showed, so no one was hurt.
700 BBs were fired. Not one bruise was made. It's crazy.
Bro, these guys are using ghillie suits to wear. That shit definitely did not hurt. But I do remember the guy who was getting annihilated in the ghillie suit had the gap of death. He had a hood on with his ghillie suit and had like some kind of headband with the mask, and all you can see is just like the bald part of his forehead between his ghillie suit and
one of the worst looks you can have.
Yes, and you could tell all these guys are aiming at that.
Old school DMG, that would have been called the Brendel. Welcome to being in a paintball team. If something's named after you, it's not a good thing.
Valid.
Has anyone, seriously, has anything in paintball ever been named after someone doing a positive action?
Trying to think.
I don't think so, no.
We just remember shitheads. That's all that we think of and make our names after.
Valid. I'm trying to think of a scenario like that. We gave the guy props.
A good one.
Doing something
No,
fucking
it's no.
You can't think of one. It's okay.
I really can't.
You just tell him good
Crystal
job.
Soya literally put his barrel into someone's scalp and we put him on magazine covers. Like we're a kind of fucked up group of people, but it's cool.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Just don't judge us too hard, society.
Whatever. We call them markers.
Rather be queried by 12 than judged by 6. All right, boys. Well, with that, let's start to wrap it up for tonight. Alex, man, thank you so much for coming on. I'm glad that we were able to line this up. I know you're starting to, you got some stuff going on. There's been people coming in and out, so we'll let you get on with your night. Before you take off and before we get out of the show, what people want to get kind of up to date either with you, which if they want to follow some of your stuff, but for the league, the different Instagram channels, Facebook, stuff like that, where can they get information from MLPB?
Yeah, so Major League Paintball, the Instagram is at Major League_Paintball. And then the Facebook is Major League Paintball. There's two currently, if you look them up. One is the old Ghost Sports logo, and then one is our Major League Paintball logo. The reason that is because we're in the process of merging the pages. So Ghost Sports and Major League merged, so Ghost Sports is now Major League Paintball Plus. So it's we're in the process of getting all that merged. So there's been kind of a meta sucks, so it's taking forever. I message them every day asking for an update on the merger, and I get nothing. So there's that. The NXL's stuff is at NXL Paintball. Facebook is NXL Paintball, at NXL Europe, at WNXL Paintball, and at ICPL Paintball. So those are all the Instagram handles. Type in the same thing for Facebook. If you want to find me, I'm at Big Papa Media, PAPA Media. That's my handle. Yep.
Looking it up right now.
Yeah, it's a mustache. So you'll like that.
Go follow them, man. Go see some powerlifting content. It's on there.
Not on that one. Nope.
Oh no, okay. Sorry.
No, that's the media page. The other one you gotta find the other one.
You gotta be the homie for that one. That's cool.
Yeah, you gotta find it. It's out there. You can look, but I'm not putting that one out there for everybody.
I'm gonna give you hints. Yeah. It's at. All right, boys. Well, Alex, so glad to have you on, man. Appreciate you coming on. Hope you could spread some kind of, this is the man behind what you're seeing online. He's a good dude. He's trying his hardest, and yeah, go talk to him about lifting some heavy weight. He'd definitely enjoy it.
Thanks for having me on, boys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, buddy.
Blessing us with your time.
Hatch, Brando, any final things for you guys before we get out of here?
Ooh.
No, there is, but I'd go on a whole other tangent, so we'll save that for the post.
We'll save that for the post show. Do not give me another 20-minute post spot.
It will at least be another 20 minutes.
Okay, yeah, thank you for that.
Jeez. No, it just, I'm finally able to talk to you. Heard a lot about you over the past year. And,
hopefully good.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely good. Yeah.
All
and
bad,
I do like maybe a little whatever, but I like the direction that seemingly like you've been taking the social media stuff. So yeah, keep it up, and yeah, I'm excited.
Thanks,
and
man. Appreciate it.
If you see someone that's just slightly taller than being a legal midget, with some really nice calves, it might be me
and long hair.
coming up and saying hi. And
Nice
long hair.
quads, too.
Yeah.
Nice
what kind of
quads, too.
calves are we talking? Because I'm part of the nice
I
calf
saw
game,
yours.
man.
I saw yours. Yeah.
Hey.
They're pretty
Alex,
good.
I'll tell you right now, Brando is our sleeper build.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Definitely
there.
a sleeper build.
Because there's
like
times
it.
recently I've been like, where the fuck did that come from, buddy? But yeah, man's been in the gym, just keeps his shirt on a lot.
Yeah, I got some
Respectful
photos
guy.
that'll blow your mind.
You got some photos and a video.
Yeah,
maybe,
photos.
maybe one with
the.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
It's a great one. Yeah, you guys can send him that one. He'd like it.
All right,
All right, boys. Well, it's officially that time. We got to wrap up the show, but the fun will not stop here. We're going to follow it up in the post show. Before we go there, I got to remind you guys actually, We even do cool guy or code word. So we're going to do that in a second. But I got to remind you guys to rate the show. Make sure you go to either YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to it. Drop a 5-star or a like. Ratings do help. They're free. They push us up in the algorithm. And yeah, just take the 10 seconds to do so. And we would all appreciate it. Subscribe as well on any of those platforms, whichever one you choose to listen to us on. You'll get a notification when the next podcast is live and ready to go. And as I just mentioned, the Patreon post show, extra about 30 minutes of content we're going to be doing behind the paywall that we do every week for just our Patreon members. So as well as getting access to early versions of the show, ad-free versions, bonus content, they get access to the Patreon post show. So make sure you go sign up at patreon.com/Mafia_Productions to get all the information over there. And lastly, I got to remind you guys real quick of our sponsors, Liquid IV, promo code Mafia_Moffitt at their website. 20% off and free shipping over there. Forgot about what that one was for a second. I was thinking of NECTR's, NECTR.energy, which is Mafia Productions, and that's a buy two, get one free. And then weltsclothing.com, promo code FTS. Save some money at checkout. All right. Well, lastly, normally I do these before, but I forgot. But we got to do them. We need a cool guy of the week. Brandon, who's the cool guy of the week?
All right, sending it. Cool guy of the week. It's actually a group, cool guys of the week.
Okay.
This group, Cracker Milk, Australian.
Solid.
Cracker Milk, I barely
Of course.
know.
Cracker.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're from
Very
Australia.
familiar.
And they just make videos. They make funny videos. And this one,
Okay, I actually am familiar. Unironically, I've seen some.
really, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. This is the first one I've seen of them, and it just pulled at like my little kid heartstring. You know, it's about the little skits about the perfect. What does it say? Finding a cool stick as a kid, right? And we all did it. We're all guys.
Where your imagination can go with that.
Yeah, you know, one that looks like the perfect gun. Just like, ooh, dude, this is it. And their skit,
Stick gun.
they replay the sniper scene in
From
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
and it's
great.
like that's what it felt like, dude. Dude, that's what it felt
Yeah.
like. With
Yeah,
imagination.
airsoft battles in the woods and shit. Yeah, no,
Oh my
100%.
God.
I got you. All right, so Cracker Milk, cool guys of the week this week. Shout out to you boys. Appreciate that. And Hatch, we need a code word.
Real quick,
Last thing of the week.
Still on Stick Talk, real quick. I follow this one Instagram page called.
Wait, what?
I follow this stick page. It's called like the world's
Okay.
best sticks or something like that. And Stick Nation. It's called Stick Nation.
Stick
and it's
Nation,
basically people,
okay.
It's basically these people. They're like, "Hey, what's going on, Stick Nation? This is my submission," and they find a stick. And dude, these sticks that I find that people find
Stick Nation
are
is pretty great.
insane, bro. Alex knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Stick Nation, where they got like they find these crazy looking ones where one would look like a bouquet of flowers, or one looks like an M1014 shotgun. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, code word
So
of
many
the
different
week,
ones.
Stick Nation. We love it. Thank you, Hatch. I appreciate that. Stick Nation. You took way too
Wow.
long when I asked you what the code word of the week
I was
was,
still
not
on
your
Stick Talk,
favorite
dude.
interest in sticks. We're going into the post show. You will have more time to talk. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Mafia Moffitt for Stephen Hatch, for Brandon Brando Baird. That is our special guest, Alex Sorenson. We appreciate you all for checking it out. This has been episode number 141 of From the Sidelines. And Hatch, it's time for you to do that thing you do, buddy.
Bye. Fuck you, Ryan.
He was protesting. We'll see you guys on the next one.